Hello, hi guys. Welcome back to the Football Showdown channel. I do not know why I suddenly flooded there, but yeah, here we are. And yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. The big match tomorrow, Arsenal versus PSG. But before that, we have a lot of inspiration to take from the Arsenal women's team. Leon have not conceded those many goals in a while. Forget the Champions League, but even in their own league, they're not conceded for a while, for a long, long time. And then Arsenal go there and put four past them. Is this an inspiration? Definitely. Is this something that we should be doing at our home leg than going back to PSG doing that? I would rather do that in the home leg and then going there with a lot of tension, right? But yeah, here we are, and yeah, I just thought I'll just share a few things about my life because why not, right? The few things that I find pure satisfaction and joy these days is babysitting my aunt's kids and then streaming. But yeah, speaking about kids and streaming, let me introduce my panel, Aarush and Parth. How are you guys?
What?
Welcome, guys.
I hope you guys are doing well.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Arush is like much younger than me, and you are still
Does
young.
it mean this is the introduction you give me, bro?
It is what it is. I hope you guys are doing well. How are you?
Yes.
Looking forward to the PSG game.
Looking forward. Yeah. Do you guys want to thank or congratulate anyone presently right now, or should we just deep dive into what is happening tomorrow?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, fair enough. We have to, I'd rather do it at the end of the season than now, to be honest. But fair play to Liverpool. They've deserved this, whatever they've gone on a run. They've done it the most consistently throughout the season in any club in England. So they very well deserve this. So I don't have anything to say apart from just the congratulations. And I know a lot of Liverpool fans. Half my family's Liverpool fandom, which works there. So I just hope they enjoy it and they just soak it in.
Oh, what about
And
you, Parth?
it actually feels good to see an authentic club win a major trophy. And, for all the hardships that Liverpool has suffered over the years, again, they've been the best team this season. I would have my footballing arguments about Liverpool that they won't stop, but yeah, man, that doesn't discount the fact that Liverpool has gone out there and done it, and over both halves of the season, they've been the best team in the league, and that too by a mile. So yeah, fair play to Slot, to Liverpool, to Salah, to Van Dijk, and to every player that played a major role in getting them the league title. Congratulations.
I would like to thank PGMOL as well. Congratulations. But yeah, no, we're not bitter. We're not bitter. I'm just kidding. But yeah, fair play to Liverpool. We can bicker about all these things while the league was still available for us to like win or like fight for. But fair play to Liverpool, right? See, guys, we are a fair channel. We appreciate good foot, not good football. We appreciate or we fair play to all things that are happening out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's just a few comments and just take out to it. Arnav, hey, hello guys. I hope you're doing well, Arnav. I hope your exams have gone well or are still going well.
Yeah.
Ainsley, yo, I'm 2 3 minutes late. It's completely fine, Ainsley.
Uh,
Uh,
that's
He's
the
put the
Barca.
score line, bro. He's put the score line
I
Yeah.
know.
every time.
Uh, Well, before we go into international football and what's happening around the world, let's talk Arsenal PSG because we have a lot of time for international football. But the main thing that we want to talk today is Arsenal versus PSG. Mikel Arteta versus Luis Enrique. Mikel Arteta playing against his former team, PSG. I guess this is something that he's been doing, right? If things go well this leg, I mean, this fixture, he goes and plays his first club that made him a footballer. But yeah, we'll stick to basics. We'll stick to what is in front of us right now. Arsenal versus PSG. Just simple thoughts before we get into the tactical breakdown. Thoughts. We'll start with Parth this time.
Uh, quite quietly confident about the game. You've overcome the biggest hurdle that there is in the Champions League, and that too comprehensively. So there's no need for us to be, nervous or think less of ourselves. So yeah, I'm confident.
I mean, I just think that we do have an advantage over them because of how the game could pan out, which I think is because they have lots of technical players and we have lots of physical players. So I think the game would be opted to be played in that way, like we did when we previously played them earlier in the group stage where we won 2-0 over them at the Emirates. So quite positive. I think over two legs we can get it done, if not the first leg or the second leg just in time. But I think we need to hold a good advantage once
Yeah.
the first leg gets over, which is at home. So yeah, it's just the basics. Let's just see how that goes.
Well, I personally feel that the first leg would still honestly be very nervy for a fact that uh, Arsenal. It's been a while since they faced a team that has gone all out attack on them, right?
Yeah.
So far we faced teams that are like good on attack, but nobody who has gone all out attack. So how to face them and all that, I'm not really sure. Could this be another test for Kivior? Am I downplaying whatever Kivior has done so far and just assuming that oh shit, they're gonna play some quick pacey players and all that? I don't know, but I think we should not be, at least I should be confident in my defenders, which I am. It's just that we played a Madrid team who's not a team. It's just a bunch of individual players put there together and do things. And now we are playing a team, a Luis Enrique's team. After the first 6 months, he took time to make sure that he understands the team and puts in, make sure that his philosophy is there. And then the next 6 months, we saw the kind of shift that they had, right? Obviously, Aston Villa have brought out the flaws that PSG have in them. Will Arsenal be able to do the same thing, but this time effectively and win the fixture is what we need to see. And I hope the insight from you guys will definitely help me and the rest of the audience that are watching out there. But speaking about audience, all the six concurrent viewers out there, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys subscribe and keep liking the stream as we're trying to make sure that this stream is part of the algorithm that many Arsenal fans would want to tune into. So keep liking and keep sharing and hit the subscribe button. And if possible, switch on your bell icon as well. Let's get into the tactical analysis. Who wants to start? Parth or Aarush? Which one?
Arush, it's all
Might not be
Arush's
lengthy though.
work.
Huh?
Might be lengthy. If you want to say
I,
something,
I
I think you could go first.
No, I've
Really?
got no issues, man. I'm all ears to all the analysis that you've gotten.
Okay, before we get into it, we have one comment from no, we'll just take that and then we'll get into it. PSG is a very good team. The biggest strength is fluidity. If we interrupt their flow through physicality, we have a good chance Declan Rice is going
Yeah,
to play the ball control. Exactly. Your point, fluidity. It's been a while since we played anything that is like properly fluid in the football. That's why I'm kind of wary, but we're here to see how things can be broken down.
yeah.
By. So yeah, Arush, where do you want me to start? Do you
The
want me
first
to
letter.
start?
The first
First,
letter.
here we go.
Yes, sir. So yeah, I mean, we Suchit started with a very good point, saying that this is one of the first games that we're actually going to face a high octane attack. And apart from that, it's also a game where we'll face a team, which we lacked against Real Madrid because it was all individual brilliance there. But starting with PSG, I think the biggest hurdle that Luis Enrique was given when he first came to PSG was actually bringing in a proper club culture over here and move away from the individual stars or the superstar talents that they have and mold it into a side that actually cumulatively performs. And that's what he did in the very first season where he signed players like Barcola and then Goncalo Ramos, Joao Neves and stuff like that this season where Desire Doué and all came. So I think what Luis Enrique has known over the long time is, of course, remontada. Because if Ainsley is watching, he would never forget the game that he watched. He watched his side play the 6-1 against PSG itself in 2017, which was I still remember that game, which was very very. I mean, I've never seen something like that in football ever. So very 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 good stuff from Luis Enrique back in the day. So he has managed to instill that same attacking fluidity, the same cohesive team effort into his side now, where his basic philosophy at PSG revolves around the fact that they need positional play, they need domination in possession, and also the high pressing football that we've noticed even against Aston Villa that we saw the other time, the way they've qualified now to play Arsenal. Previous game, we saw how the high octane football that they play actually warrants to a big attacking side of what their game revolves around. So coming into the next slide, what we see is the in possession dynamics that PSG basically operate in. You can see the names that they usually go for in the lineup. So what they traditionally do is form a 4-3-3 lineup that later would morph into something else. But um, what they do is they work on diamond passing lanes, they work on possession, they work on spatial awareness, and they also majorly work on unpredictableness over the front three and the front six, I'd say. Because not each player have a particular role to play there, because this is one of the most unique sides in European football, which I'll say this season doesn't have a out and out striker, neither do they have a out and out creative playmaker or something like that, because they actually function as a team, like I mentioned already. So what we see in the next image is basically how that 4-3-3 in possession gets morphed into two different variations of a 3-5. The difference between the 3-5 here is on the top corner, no, on the bottom corner, you see Vitina fixating between the two center backs, which is a midfielder. And on top, you see William Pacho take the center back role, and Nuno Mendes actually plays the left center back role. So let's talk about the Vitina role. So Vitina's role is basically obviously to hold more possession of the ball, who basically works as their main DM. So he takes the ball. Then you have two midfield pivots in front of him, where a fullback also can invert at times. Then usually what they prefer doing is, if not the image on top where Nuno Mendes is actually in the defensive side of things, they like to see both of their fullbacks actually stay higher and stay wider, because we know the quality Nuno Mendes and Hakimi both of them have, because the numbers say for itself, at least in League One for them this season. And Nuno Mendes is quite, I mean, one of the best left backs in world football currently, and he has locked up the biggest of names this season only. So what we see then is a front three over there of Dembele, Barcola, Quara, Desire Due, any one of them, because they are very dynamic. Like I said, they don't have an out and out striker. They are very versatile. They all can play through each other's movements, and they know their movements as well, which is very key for a side that functions like PSG. So what they basically do is they like to overload the pitch like any other side, but they do it at the highest, what do you call it, at the highest level. So obviously overloads, and then the numerical superiority that they bring in the team is because of how many runners they have in the team. Because you'd see um, the attacking front three is just as great, but the passing through Fabian Ruiz and Joao Neves can actually elevate this side. So the tight spaces that they operate in against majority of teams, which obviously would sit in a low block to an attack like this, I think these people have the freedom in operating in different zones, and they obviously prefer to play more through the right hand side, because Hakimi is more of a player who would sit higher up the pitch than defend. So that makes up to more of their football. So then, the fullbacks and the wingers only not only bring pace to the game, but they also bring lots of dynamism in actually holding onto the ball, making those diamonds, like I said, work, and also stretching the pitch. Um, what we see in the next image is basically how they operate out of possession. So this is basically just an image of how they would look when they press, not when they sit back to actually defend, because I couldn't do much analysis on that. Um, this is when they press. So whilst pressing, they actually sit in a 4-4, which actually is very aggressive, and they like to high press, like I said earlier. So high pressing, the intensity that they face with is just too much to deal with, because the amount of individual talent again right here is unapologetic. So You think of Dembele over here, he doesn't really play as a center forward. He plays as a false nine. You'd think of Dembele in his prime as a winger, but he's just converted into a role of a false nine, second striker, center forward. So here he forms a pressing pivot where Kvaratskhelia comes in between from the right wing role. Hakimi, as you can see in the circular box there, he's pushing onto the left back of the side when the team wants to build through the left side, of course. So then you have Barcola who sits right at the right back spot. And then the midfield of Neves and Fabian Ruiz actually like to push higher to actually not give the side passing options and force them to go long. And then you have Vitina, who is a defensive midfielder. Usually, even if in a side like Arsenal, you'd see your Partey or you'd see your Rice actually go higher up the pitch to actually block that creative player. But what these people tend to do is make Vitina sit back, let the other two midfielders go out and press the team. So this is what they basically do in the first phase, where they like to disrupt passing lanes and force quicker decisions onto like recycling possession. So yeah, this is basically how they operate. So I'd like to ask you all a question. How do you all
Mhm.
think Arsenal can negotiate with how they operate?
Uh, in my opinion, the way to counter this is, extracting movement from always possible. I mean,
Yep.
us is a team that thrives on positional fluidity, and given PSG's man-to-man press, that is one way we can beat it. But we have to be sharp because if we consider PSG's midfield and their attack, all I don't feel the front six that they have is the front six that they have is very physical. So they can be run past with ease and they can be bodied, but then it has
Yep.
to be complemented through movements on all the sides of the pitch, which was at the forefront against a team like Madrid, where in the first leg where we were just going past Madrid and it was just positional fluidity all over the pitch, and that is where Arsenal functions the best. So, in order to overcome a press like this, we have to do this.
Yes. Suchit, what do you think?
I actually, I wouldn't, okay, I wouldn't say as an overall thing, but I think one specific point that we can definitely target is our left side, which is basically Hakimi's side, because
Yep.
Yeah,
Hakimi is not great when it comes to like falling back, right? He's more like
yeah,
that attacking type of wing back. So,
Mm,
and
yeah.
our best, and normally our best has been with Merino playing in our team has been on the left hand side than on the right hand side. So I still feel with Martinelli's pace and the kind of this one pausa is the pausa the word? I think pausa is the word. A
Yeah.
pausa that Merino
Composure.
plays with, a composure that Merino plays with, right? I still think his slow football or the way he slows down the game to make sure that our players get into better positions while other teams try to press and get out of position is what is going to help us more than the fact that we try to attack on the right hand side, which we are normally predominantly are known for, like the Saka and the Odegaard side. How will we cope up with the fact that Merino is not going to play false nine with Trossard being as a striker? I'm still assuming that Trossard will be a striker with Merino in our midfield. Will that automatically help us without Merino trying to do all, trying to play, try to run up and down? Is it going to help us? I'm not really sure. I just feel that the Merino, MLS, and Martinelli combination is what's going to create a lot of goals or create a lot of chances for us, at least on the left hand side. Left hand side.
Yeah.
On the left hand side, in my opinion. Do you guys think that's going to be the way, or it's going to be some other possible?
I
Let
don't think we have an option in terms of lineup at the moment because we've seen the
Mhm.
news of Merino coming back, which could well and truly mean he starts in midfield. I don't know because if he's not completely fit, I don't think so he'd be trusted to play as a box to box running between defense and attack. Because that wouldn't make sense to be honest. But if he can give us a good 60 to 70 minutes at the Emirates playing from midfield and having Trossard playing as a false nine in between two center backs who are very physical. I don't see how that works, but I think we'd have our own ways to actually negotiate as to how they play. What do you think?
See, when it comes to their defense, all I see is that they've gotten technical players there and they've got attacking players. Nuno Mendes is an attacking fullback. Yes, he defends well, but he's predominantly an attacking fullback. Hakimi is as good as a winger. Marquinhos is not the strongest of centre backs that there is, and William Pacho, in my opinion, he's their best defender. But if there's something that can catch him off guard is the fact that we can overload or we can just rely on winning second balls, which has been a strength, and I'm pretty sure and I'm pretty confident that we'd get space to function in, and that is where Trossard excels at. Because if Trossard is in congested space, yes, he can get a shot out. But if he's got a free run, I'm pretty sure that he'll be able to find those passes to Martinelli and Saka, who would then take the ball, and they have to show the intent to attack.
Yep.
They can't wait for people to join in and slow down or attack, because over the last few games the way we've been operating is pretty transition heavy, and I'm confident that once we get through PSG's first line of press, we'll be able to generate those moments. So it's all about capitalizing on all the scenarios that we've been creating all these weeks.
Yep. Suchit, if you could, can you go to the next slide? That's there. I mean, I
One
continue.
other thing I want to talk about Pacho, right? I do not have the stats, but from the game that I saw against Liverpool, by the way, 1 second. Uh, uh, Sridhar, I hope I am audible. It's
Now
just
you
that
are. Now you are.
it's just that the background sound is a lot dominating than mine, so that is why it could be sounding a little bit low. I hope I'm still audible to people out there.
Yeah,
Right. Okay. Regarding Pacho, what I've noticed is that he doesn't wait for the attacker to come onto him. He's more like he'll
He's
go and stop
aggressive.
the ball. He's more aggressive, right?
yeah,
So how Arsenal could like how do I say negotiate that aggressive nature of his is I think the shift from Merino and Trossard in the midfield. Like remember like how Jesus and Havertz was doing, or like how
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that could definitely help. I do not know how effective Trossard would be because his first instinct is get the ball, shoot. Whereas if Trossard is the one that's dropping deep and Merino is making a run into that empty space,
That's the
right?
point.
If Spato is the one that is an aggressive one that go onto the attacker, I think that will also be very key. Will that
Uh,
create offset traps from PSG? I am not sure if they're good enough to play that offset traps from that side.
that is a very good point. It
Nice.
is what you mentioned is third man runs. Our centre forward dropping deep and Merino making the run, which I see being a possibility, and that is one place we can exploit them, because even against Villa, the way Villa was attacking was predominantly through John McGinn, and John McGinn was playing as the centre midfielder in that game. He
Mm.
was making those runs, which PSG was not able to track because they don't have defensively adept midfielders.
Do you guys want to take in one other comment, or do you guys want to go
Yes.
with? Okay,
Take in.
Prathamesh,
So yeah,
we gave you the flowers. Congratulations to Liverpool. I hope you guys are doing well. It's just, yeah, it is what it is. Congratulations. I don't know what it
see,
is.
Arsenal women won against Lyon, so we are happy, man. You enjoy your success, we'll enjoy ours.
True, true. Arnav says we can't sit back, bro. Not recommended. But one thought. I mean, let's say we absorb the pressure and look for counter attack. I think we can take advantage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is
Correct.
the
But we won't be
game
there
we
to sit
play.
back against them.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
to be
all.
fair, the game that
Uh-huh.
we played against Madrid at Bernabeu, it is not a typical counter-attacking football, but you could see in a way that it was
Exactly.
counter-attacking, right? So if you, that's what I don't think we'll completely just sit back like how we did against Man City like last season.
I think there's no other manager Mikel Arteta has sat back against than a Pep Guardiola in his time span.
Yeah,
Because
and
he is a guy who would want to dominate control.
yeah,
Even if Luis Enrique is a manager who says possession as his most used word, I think even in the first, I mean the league stage we played the game against them, we had major of the possession. So I think that is what works. So yeah, coming back to this is what I was saying when Parth said that we are more of a side who would who would like to dominate them physically because they have more technical players in them. This is what Luis Enrique had to say after the second leg of the Aston Villa game. They are a very strong team, especially in the air. In every corner, they were swinging in balls into the box, and that's not our area. We are a small team. So, well, if we go to the next slide, we see as to how we can actually take advantage of them is basically the high pressing that we have. Um, so what we can do is, I know that, I mean, we have all of us know that our pressing has been one of the best in Europe. So I think suffocating them in build-up play is what is going to work the most. Not when they actually sit into a 3-5, but but when they actually start from build up from the keeper, because I think if you rush onto Donnarumma, he is one guy who is going to go long, and that is just going to help us recycle the ball more. So I think if we minimize the switch of plays, so in terms of switch of plays, what I mean is they usually start from their left, they pass the ball to Nuno Mendes, then they give it to one of the midfielders, and what he tries to do from there is play Hakimi or play a Dembele or a Kawara on the other side who plays in isolation, play a direct switch ball to them. This is what I mean by actually stopping the switch of plays, because this is one way which they actually like to attack. So as much as they'd like to play in the middle channels, their major attacks come from the wider zones. So
Yeah.
stopping this would actually be one area through which, and then obviously lead them to forceful long balls, because I think long balls again physicality is where it plays, because having the frame that we have, taking advantage of the short frame they have, and then actually dominating them on aerial duels, second balls, and just competing for all these duels would help us regain possession and also dominate possession. And then set pieces, obviously, because as you saw, this quote was basically also on how they have been facing set pieces this season. And to put it statistically, 38% of the goals they've conceded this season have come from set pieces that we've all seen. And
38. Wow. Wow.
38%, which
Uh-huh.
is,
Percent,
I
percent.
mean, it's a fact that they've considered one of the least goals in Europe because obviously the league they play in, but majority of the goals they've faced have come from set pieces. And Arteta's side has scored the most in Europe, and almost 16% of their chances scored come from headers. So again, this is something that we can take advantage of, because Donnarumma hasn't been the best this season or the previous seasons as well. We've spoken about it in the last stream as well, and his domination in actually claiming crosses and collecting the ball
It's
is
yeah.
not what you would expect from a goalkeeper who's highly rated and has such a good frame. So benefiting from actually their own players, whatever their weaknesses, is going to actually benefit us more. And lastly, I think nullifying transitions and also counter pressing them is going to give us a big advantage, because um I think our counter pressing ability in like half spaces is really good, where we
Yeah.
can dominate control. And obviously, as much as they like to play in triangular passing lanes or diamond passing lanes, we like to do it in triangles. And that's where our tight space efficiency comes into, and we have that added physicality. They might have the technicians in their team, but we have the physicality. So I think going brim to brim with them physically would actually give us a good competitive advantage. Yeah, that's it.
Also, when it comes to ball carrying, we've got the likes of Declan Rice. Then we also have Miles Lewis Kelly, which, in my opinion, who in my opinion will have the most important role in tomorrow's game, because
Yep,
with Partey missing, we need to have someone to break the lines and to receive the ball from the centre backs and actually connect play. So basically, Lewis Kelly will be playing in as the number six. He would start as a left back, obviously, but in possession he'll be the six. And I'm intrigued to see the kind of role that Rice is given, because I am not seeing Rice as being the DM that we expect him to be if he's starting as the defensive midfielder. I still expect similar patterns of play that we generate. I mean, in the 3-5 that we usually have in possession, uh, I see it being similar. But uh, if you ask me, it's just the midfield where the match will be won or lost. if
Yep.
we get hold of the midfield and if we do not let them enjoy the possession that they love enjoying, on the ball, they prosper when the midfielders have the ball, and that is one of the major reasons as to why uh, they lost the game, but won the match on footballing terms against Liverpool at the Parc des Princes, because in that game you could see the ball being recycled again and again and again, and Liverpool being unable to press them. So if we mitigate that thing, I'm pretty sure we'll be fine in this game.
Uh, Regarding height, right? This is not my work, but I've seen one of the people who I follow uh, make a small analysis on the height. Maybe very little, but I thought this was kind of interesting to see this one.
Ah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and in this, he kept. This is the PSG team, and this is the Arsenal team. And he clearly says this is assuming this is starting 11. And I thought this was like wow, wow.
Uh,
I'm assuming like this one is Don Rome and the rest are like here.
yeah, and actually, even in the attack, I don't think that PSG relies on long balls, so we should be fine there. It's just the midfield zone. If we are
Mhm.
able to get control of them there, the game is. I mean, it shouldn't be difficult to beat PSG.
But you made an interesting point, Parth. The fact that Thomas Partey is not there, right? How will we? I mean, not you actually. Actually, this point that Aarush brought up, nullified transitions. I know Declan Rice is great at intercepting balls and all that, but I think even Thomas Partey is very good at breaking up
Yeah,
plays. How will we uh, set up as a team? Is do you guys think that Merino is good enough to like break up plays?
yeah,
Hmm.
Hmm?
Very well. He's
yeah, yeah.
decently well. The
Because
only
it
thing I
was.
question him is in the injury aspect as to he's coming back. How injured was he? Was he really
Yeah,
injured? Stuff like that.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
the last
because
time we saw this midfield run was prior to the game we played this week, which was against Ipswich, where
hmm,
Trossard played and Merino was. I think Merino played a very good game there,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm just questioning the center forward's role there because we can't afford to create chances and then end up missing those chances, at least against PSG and at the Emirates as well, because that's the game we have the advantage in. So let's just see.
if you look at PSG, I mean they are pretty similar to how Arsenal sets up. Arsenal usually sets up in a 4-3-3 to start off proceedings and then morphs into a 3-2-5. And it is very interesting to see that the 3-5 versions of both the teams are completely different. PSG forms a 3-5 by having Vitinha dropping into the defensive line and their fullbacks bombarding up the field. With Arsenal, it is pretty different. With Arsenal, it would be the right back going into the right centre back position with Timber and Lewis Kelly forming a double pivot with Partey, and then Rice would be the eight. Rice and Merino, whoever it might be. So it is, if we look at the game tactically, there's a lot of things to see in this game. I am very intrigued to see a game like this.
Another thing that I also noticed while diving into how they function in possession is basically I'm very worried as to how much MLS would actually overload and invert into the game because the amount of chances they create from their RHS
Yeah,
with Barcola, Kawara or Hakimi won't let him actually have that freedom from the central zones. So how are we going to negotiate with that is what I'm thinking about because obviously Martinelli starting at left wing, he's going to do his normal by falling back that he
yeah,
would have to be at best. And what I think is Saka would actually not have to do that much because they would be prone in starting Nuno Mendes more deeper than higher because they know that Arsenal's attacks would majorly come from the RHS and
yeah,
function from Saka actually taking on his man like he did in the league stage game where he had the upper hand over Nuno Mendes. So because see MLS, as much as he'd invert, the next option right behind him is Kivior. And it is not the best option for us to actually think of, but it is the best option for PSG to take advantage of. So this is something that we would need to work out, considering the fact that Rice would sit at six and not at left center mid. So Rice won't directly get to cover for him. It would be Merino, and then it is Rice from the six who would have to cover two roles if they target MLS. I mean, obviously, MLS is not some kid that we're talking about in terms of footballing aspects, but just saying as to how experience could play out or how a tactic in particular sorts of targeting him could play out.
Uh, the amount of discipline that we showed against Real Madrid, we'll have to double it against PSG, because with Real Madrid, they were focused on attacking with their attackers, and with PSG, it is their attackers plus their defenders. And Martinelli and Saka will have to be at their A game, come what may. They have to be the first line of defense, then it has to go to the right back and the left back.
Yep.
We can't allow them to have a free run.
Also, do you all reckon Ben White coming into the lineup, Timber playing left back, and MLS going in midfield?
No,
Do you all see it happening?
no.
No, right?
Arteta won't experiment in a game like this.
Hmm.
He won't. The,
Fair.
the starting 11 would be the one that has all the usual suspects. It would be Trossard starting as the nine, who would, in my opinion, drop very deep, basically acting as the false nine, and it would be
Hmm.
Merino, Raisa, and Odegaard who will be starting.
Hmm. Fair,
You
because
know,
Ben White also missed the last game and then he's come back from injury as well. And it's not the most sane thing to say that he's not the best
Ben
in
White,
defensive.
Ben White 1v1 isn't the best defender as well.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, we can't we can't actually be playing into PSG's hands by using a set or a fullback pairing that hasn't featured a lot over the last few weeks. We can't be risking that.
Well, what has Party done to us, bro?
The
That
yellow card, man.
like,
Jeez.
he was doing so well in the entire game, but that one yellow completely disrupted what was going to happen at the Emirates. I just hope it doesn't cost it too much because we know how good Vitinha is, right? He's the one who ticks the ball for
Yep.
PSG. If we can keep Vitinha calm, I don't think they'll have enough passing or enough passes in them to like make sure that they can break down Arsenal. How we keep Vitinha calm is by physically imposing ourselves against him or disrupting
Passing
all
lanes.
passing lines that are available for him. And for that, Rice and Partey have been good. Now, if Merino falls into midfield, would that compromise our false nine position? Because Trossard is not exactly in his best form. He's scoring goals. Completely agree, but Trossard's overall game performance has not been up to the par. He'll score a goal and we'll forget all the good things, all the bad things he has done in
And
that
he's
game.
not even the best presser of the ball, which makes me
Yeah.
worried from center forward.
I've got this feeling that the roles that we usually have will stay the same. It would be Merino who would be pushing up, and it would be Trossard who would be dropping deep in order to facilitate Merino's third man runs. I do feel that happening.
But
You
I don't
think
see it happening against PSG though.
Uh, if you've gotten space to exploit, why won't you try and make those kind of runs?
Let's just go and see how we lined up in particular last time against them.
Because when
Because
it
yeah,
comes to PSG, you have to have a trade-off. You can't be just using the plan that you've initially got in your mind and then just keep on following it, because PSG, if they're attacking 101%, they would be on the front foot and they'll try to attack, which will leave spaces in behind for us to exploit, which we've been able to do quite well over the last
hmm,
few weeks. Even though our league form has been pretty poor, but yeah, we've been able to get into those positions.
hmm.
we'll take in two comments that we got.
Yeah.
Hey, Bolnich, hi bro, bye bro. Krishna Mano, I think.
What?
Hey, it's a movie reference. Yeah. Uh, hey, Arul Selvan. Oh, is this your first time on the channel? Welcome to the channel. I hope you're subscribed. I hope you're enjoying the stream, and I hope you continue watching us. Don't worry, guys. Merino will win all the duels. See, we have no
We'll
doubts
have.
on Merino winning his duels or him not doing well. It is just that will his positioning cost us with Trossard up top? Because Trossard is like how Aarush mentioned, Trossard is not the best presser. Whereas Merino is not exactly a presser, but he knows how to like uh, play that
He's
position
understood
well.
the trigger points right now, playing as the
Exactly.
nine.
Exactly. And for sure, when we're pressing, it's going to be Odegaard and Martinelli and Saka. It's not going to be Trossard or Merino.
Yeah,
It's just that the fact how will Merino in the midfield complement Rice? While we have seen best Arsenal in the UCL being played with Partey and Rice. That is my only concern because
I just throw in one person who we dearly miss for the PSG game, Kai Havertz. Had he been present, I would have been very, very, very confident.
Okay, so exactly last time we played PSG, we didn't have Odegaard in the lineup. We had
Yeah, Trossard
Kai
played well.
Havertz playing in Odegaard's role on paper, but there was Trossard starting this game from centre
Yeah.
forward as well. So if you see the average position in this game, Kai Havertz is basically operating as a centre forward here, more on the right side next to Bukayo Saka. But Trossard is taking up the midfield role through which, if you remember the goal we
Yeah, yeah,
scored
it was a
through
cross.
Havertz's, that is basically the position Trossard played throughout the game. And we didn't have to worry much about because we had a Partey and Rice behind him getting in the ball. And this was also a game where Calafiori had his full debut at the club
Mm-hmm.
and he actually played from left back and he was inverting majorly in this game. So we had three players. I mean, yeah, to be honest, if we have if we focus on playing the game from central zones and not giving them the option wider, we force them to play our game.
Yeah,
And that is
exactly.
having like MLS, Rice and Merino in the center, and that makes up like most of our attack. And then Martinelli plays wider, because then you have to attract Hakimi that side, and that would attract also Marquinhos to actually covering him that side. Makes sense because what I remember fondly from that game is also as to how much Saka took on Nuno Mendes in this game.
Yeah.
So you were giving them both to think about. So yeah, it does make sense now.
The late runs into the box will be key for us to get those goals. We have to
Hmm.
get them spot on because I'm pretty sure we'll get a lot of scenarios where PSG's defense will be sleeping because that defense is not good. I'm sorry for as much quality as that defense has, it's not a good defense.
if you're having see, who do you think the centre back pairing is going to be? Marquinhos and Pacho.
Marquinhos,
Acho.
Pancho, yeah.
Yeah.
See, if we target Marquinhos, right, I think we're through. Pacho could still get the better of us because it's Trossard
Yeah.
out there. But if you're targeting from the left hand side, we're assuming that Hakimi is not able to fall back quickly because of Martinelli's pace or the type of play that we bring PSG players out of their position, right? I think targeting that side, like Hakimi and Marquinhos, is going to be key, at least in my opinion. What's going to happen on paper? I mean, what's going to happen in game is for sure, 200% sure. I'm going to tell you, if they're going to attack, at first few attacks is going to be from Saka. There is no doubt. Whatever happens, we're just going to start from Saka. Assume that it's going to work. If it doesn't
Or
work,
Trossard from the halfway line.
yeah,
And also to think about, PSG's front six for this game was Desiree Doué from right wing, Kang In Lee from center forward, Barcola from left wing, Joao Neves, Vitina, and Zaire Emery also played this game. So you're thinking of Fabian Ruiz coming in this side, Desiree Doué taking his spot, or Barcola, Kvaratskhelia playing, and Dembele
yeah,
playing.
Dembele, yeah.
And they have gotten better together, and they are a better pressing side now. So there is quite a lot to think of in terms of tactically for this game.
But if I were to summarize PSG, it would be PSG is a positionless side, which is a positive and a negative for them. If you can get what I mean. Would you
Explain,
guys agree?
explain.
See, they don't have any fixed positions because it is Hakimi occupying the right wing. It is Vitinha acting as the centre back. Then it is Dembele playing as the playing as the nine. Then it is Kvaratskhelia and who would it be? Desiree
Barcola.
Doué, De- Bakola or Desiree Doué, who constantly switch sides. They aren't fixated on a certain wing. And this is where, we can catch them off guard because their press is man to man. And to break that man to man press, all you need to have is quick movements. And if you are able to get it spot on, it doesn't matter how high they presses or how well they presses man to man. We'll eventually find space because again, all those players are not defensive minded. We there's space for us to exploit there. Now
Yeah.
now do you get what I mean?
Movements, basically movements, bro.
Yep. I've been pretty insistent on us getting our movement and interchanges right because when it happens, I can assure you we can dismantle any team. And again, the game against PSG at the Emirates, the one which we won 2-0. Just look at the first half. We were flowing in that game, literally flowing. And it was because none of our players had a fixed position.
Hmm.
It was all movement here and there. That is one way we can
Also, to
get the
think
better
of
of it.
Odegaard comes into this game. So we have a certain pinpoint in attack to actually have someone to play those
Yeah.
passes. And he can actually fix it, not only fix it at the right hand side, he can float to the left hand side as well when needed.
Yeah.
And then you have the inverting player in MLS or a Timber who can take that central space. So it is an advantage that we can possess.
And if we are to talk about Odegaard, we've been very critical of him when he's on the ball. But my assessment of him over the last few weeks would just be that he's gotten into those positions which are very promising. It's just that the passes have been over it or under it. If he gets that right, I'm pretty confident he'll make us stick in this game because he will be afforded that space, and it's not that he's not good at exploiting transitions or in transitions. He can he can do the job, but he might not be able to do it at a very high level. But does that mean that he's not capable of launching attacks? Nah, that's false.
I think he's coming into this game with a very good game against Crystal Palace, in my opinion,
Palace,
because
yeah,
he
he was
had
good.
lots of good passes. And these
Yeah,
are passes that can be taken advantage of versus PSG, who have a high line.
100%.
And
Yeah.
having a runner in Martinelli when Hakimi is not there, I think it just makes sense.
And one important thing that I think we have said that before, but let's iterate it again. The fact that we don't, PSG doesn't have any physical midfielders who can get the ball of Odegaard could play a huge advantage to us.
Yeah.
Because when Odegaard is not being pressed by the physical midfielders, he still has it in him to beat his man or to still maintain the ball with him and then put in a good pass to us. So I think that is also very important. Also, I think in this game, right, KVR's long balls could come into play a lot more than what we have seen in the last few games. Him playing as a LCB, because
I agree.
like how Aarush said, the long balls from PSG could play an advantage to us. I think long balls from us could play good advantage because their centre backs are also not that big when compared to our attackers. I think at par we can still play against them, but I still think KVR's long balls could play a huge role. I don't
Also,
have a stat here. Go ahead.
also last time we played them, Urian Timber got injured at halftime or whatever tactical sub, and Kivior had come on, and he ended up playing this game at left back, and Calafiori played the whole second half at right back.
Right
Where
back.
from
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
inverted from right back. I just saw this and I checked their average position and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
accustomed to this as well. So why not?
Wait. So as an LC, so he did play. Are you saying LCB or like left back, left back?
Left back.
Left back. Kivior
Left
played
back.
left back, Gabriel and Saliba. And then
Okay.
second half, Calafiori played from right back, inverting
Hmm.
inside throughout the game.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
remember. I remember.
Yeah, I remember this one.
Been taking a few comments. Ainsley says their positions are not fixed. Even Dembele keeps moving around the front.
Yeah.
Dembele
He
won't
keeps
play the side that Timber is playing. I can
There's
100%.
there's so many similarities between the way PSG is attacking currently and the way we used to attack back in 22-23 when we were opening teams up for fun. It is pretty similar. I like this.
Mhm. many people are saying, right, the Arsenal 22-23 season would do, or 22-23 team would do so much better against this Arsenal. I guess it's like a good test to see if they'll actually do well. We'll have to see. I know the person are different. I know the quality is different, but like how people keep saying, "Oh, that team used to attack so well," but bro,
This
attacking is
team
not
defends so well.
exactly.
Yeah,
Uh, Arul Salam says, Kivior is, I think, our best passer.
I
Fair
I'd
enough.
agree.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because
Wow.
Saliba isn't someone who is a passer; he's a carrier. So yeah, I can get behind it.
Like I would
Now,
argue that.
what are your guys' thoughts on Saliba? Are we looking too much? Are we looking too much into those errors?
We are looking too much into those errors. My personal opinion. Because you can't actually downplay a person's talent just because of two errors out of the
I agree.
127 games that before that he had made only one error, and 2 games in a row he's been criticized for that. Obviously, he's playing a certain way because the team expects the game to go much slower, and they're not taking those league games seriously, which is why he's
Yeah,
making these errors.
I agree.
And okay, Vinicius chance, fair enough. Both of them are mistakes through his own, which you wouldn't see happen on a normal basis. It's not like, yeah, it just you won't see these errors happening basically. And it's not like he's lost his defensive ability in this aspect of making mistakes.
I agree. I'd
So
say that those errors were out of complacency.
yeah,
Simply put.
A quick
he
question:
got too casual.
Did he post a video where he got a new fresh haircut or no?
I haven't seen one till now.
Maybe that could make a difference because always before a big game, always I've noticed him put out a video where he gets a new fresh new trim, and that game he's out of this world, out of this damn world. The moment he starts growing his hair out of proportion, right, that is when we know, okay, this bro is not an idiot. But yeah, I'm just kidding.
Uh,
Uh, I think it's very easy for us fans or our fan base to just criticize any and every player. There was a point in our time where people were criticizing Saka because he's not having the output. But if you look at the game, that bro has been doing a lot more than just give you an output. Right? Yeah, this season he started off brilliantly. 10 out of 10 assists, 10 assists or a 10 G or whatever the stat was, right? And the fact that we're criticizing Saliba in a game where it doesn't matter and all our main focus is to not get injured, to get a cardio done, and to make
yeah,
sure
yeah.
that in the top two is too harsh. I agree. The chance that we gave off in the Madrid game was critical. Okay, if it is a lot earlier, like maybe in the 60th minute, we would still be like, oh shit, right? I completely agree, but it wasn't the case. Criticism for the fact that okay, he's not been 100% when it was in the crucial moments, not when it's like the game is done and nobody gives a shit about it.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree that Arteta said that we need to have clean sheets, so we need to win duels and all that. But like we, they're all humans after in the end. When the game is done, the natural tendency is to like take it easy,
I agree.
take it chill
Yeah.
pill. So it's simple, dude. It's before an exam, people do not give up. But right after exam, people people tend to forget even things that they've written in the exam. It's like that.
Yeah.
It's simple as it. When things are done, you tend to like take it, be a little bit lethargic, and I think we should give a little bit. We should kind of slack
I'd,
from some.
I'd even argue that, in Gabriel's absence, Saliba has led our defense very, very, very well.
Yeah, and he's playing a different role at the same time as well.
100%. Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Do you guys think he's been carrying the ball a lot often since Magalhaes got injured?
Yep.
Yeah.
Why do you think is that the case now?
Uh, because we need progression from our defense, and that is one way we function. How many times have you seen Gabriel? Even Gabriel goes on those runs and pings those balls, and that is one way we start attacks. Because Gabriel, I even feel that Aarush tweeted it out once that Gabriel has been our biggest chance creator uh, during a certain patch, and
Yep.
that is exactly where that happens. And with Saliba, the errors come in because he ends up in those positions where he's asked to, build attacks, create attacks. So
See,
it's
at
but obvious
at
that it
Arsenal,
will
at
happen.
Arsenal, basically we have two center backs. One of them is a sweeper. One of them is a what's it called? One is a sweeper. One is a stopper. So
Yeah.
in games where Gabriel starts at left center back, he plays a sweeper who carries the ball, plays those extra passes. And you've seen him carry through the left, and he doesn't carry
Yeah.
as much as good as Saliba does. It's
Saliba,
because he's
yeah.
asked to play that way. And then he dinks those passes, which I tweeted back in the days. But now what I'd always thought of Saliba playing a role like a John Stones, which is a libero role. And that is what we are seeing now more often, and he can transition ahead, but I don't think he needs a transition. I think a player in our squad who needs that transition is a Ricardo Calafiori, because this guy has it in him. Because I think more than half the fan base don't know what he can do from left center back.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's qualities are groundbreaking because not only the passing, the carries that this guy has, and then this guy has the carries with the attacking instincts of playing quick passes, moving onto the positions that the other players create, and then actually going from the defensive line to the attacking line, taking a shot, playing that right pass. If you want to recall an example, go back to Italy's game that they needed qualifications for. Calafiori was playing left center back. He carried the ball in the 92nd minute. He
Yeah.
played that pass, and then I think it was Zakayani or someone who hit the top bins, and they ended up getting qualifications and going to the quarterfinals.
Mm-hmm.
This is what
Yeah.
Calafiori can do in crunch time, and this is all from left center back, where he's majorly played for Bologna as well. He used to start games at left center back. All the contributions that you see of him aren't from left back. He's making these runs from left back
Yep.
and
I
then
agree.
actually reaching to the goal from defense.
For
So
for
these are aspects in which we can actually grow further if, say, that Gabriel would leave in a season or two, or if we are not aiming to actually sign a proper backup and go something from the academy or something like that. So this makes sense. And Saliba for
and
now has been doing a very good job.
the best example of Calafiori doing Calafiori things is the Forest game, where he was actually playing as a striker. He was
Oh yeah,
No,
that
actually
that
playing as a striker in that game.
no,
even the finish
that
versus PSG, PSV,
exactly.
It is
The finish against
PSV,
PSG with the
PSV,
right,
PSV.
right foot.
crazy goal.
It's
Ah,
just the
man.
injuries that have halted his progress. But yeah, he's one
Only
player who can easily break low blocks, and that has been a kryptonite.
only if Calafiori took football more seriously than fashion modeling
I
for
agree.
Adidas, bro.
In one way or the other, he's making up his price tag.
Yeah, I agree.
And building Arsenal's brand as well at the same time.
Brand or a fan base which is sort of thirsty.
Today I feel whatever
What?
it is, man.
Hey, hello,
This
hello, hello.
guy, bro.
See, once in a while, you assume that Parth is fine. This guy has a girlfriend. He might be cool. Then he comes on stream. We start to question him in all ways, and then yeah, things happen.
Why are you gay?
Okay.
We have to keep people thinking.
No, 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 no. It's fine. It is
I,
completely
I
fine.
have I have to build that mysterious personality around myself. You aren't getting the point.
People will follow you on Twitter and they'll realize.
Zesty ass dude tweeting, coming on streams.
But he will take in few comments.
Yeah.
Arnav, when is Calafiori coming back?
Whenever he
Okay.
decides to come back. That's
Whenever
how he
he
operates
decides
at
that,
this club.
okay, the money that he's making from the football club is lot more than the brand deals. That I think that is very because trust me,
But Arteta actually said that he'll be available for the PSG game. But
And he's nowhere to be seen.
I'm assuming he would be available for the second leg. Meaning
Yeah,
he has
probably.
to show up at some time, man.
Sanjit asking Merino news. Okay, so Ben White
Still the
and
He's
best
Merino.
nine
hardly.
in still the best nine in Europe.
Uh, Arul Salwan says
Yeah,
Merino limited. Fit, seam training, and and like full training, not like by himself or something. It is like full training with the main team, and that is good news. Is left back a priority next season? Okay,
Every season at this club. Left back is a need.
okay. How do we answer?
ideally, ideally, yes.
Time
Ideally,
it out,
yes.
bro. Plan it out. I mean, we have Nuno Tavares, Zinchenko,
Shut your damn. Shut your damn mouth
maybe.
if you say Bruno Tavares in big
I had to,
2025.
bro. He's taking up a spot in the squad. So sales and then the money, profit, everything matters. Then you can think of a Tomiyasu being sold. If not him, you can think of a Kivior being sold. So you would then aim for a player who can play left back and center back. And in the end, left back becomes a priority because if you're thinking of MLS going into midfield, MLS staying to left back, do we have a need because Calafiori is there? You have lots to think about, and it just depends on how the club warrants to the sales.
Yeah,
And
I
then concurrent viewers asking us who we think is a left back options, right? How about we ask you, Arul Selvan, how about you let us know who are the left back positions that left back players that you think Arsenal should target?
You, yeah, at least give us
yeah.
2 to 3 names. It would be fun
Uh-huh.
discussing.
Exactly,
And see,
because we have
when
ideas of
it
people.
when it comes to left back, would you guys keep Kivior for another season or two?
Not
Would
for
you?
left back, but for left center back.
I mean,
Exactly.
for left back and left centre back depth, basically. Would you?
100%. See, he's not been a bad player. He's always been judged as a left back, and that is not his position, right? Because if he was like a runner like Ben White who can like run anywhere and everywhere, even being as a center back, then I would be like, okay, then we can judge him. But he's not. He's not a left back. He doesn't have the intelligence to like run up and down depending on the depending on the play at that moment, right? So it's always been unfair to him, like how majority of the fan base has been judging him. But as a left back, last season when he played the last 4 games as a left back, I thought
Yeah,
he was
he was
brilliant.
good man. He was
This
Even the
good.
second half since January when he played.
Exactly. So as a left back, he's always good as an option. There's no doubt. It's just that we were very not. I would say all of us. At least I would.
Our standards in defense are set so high that anything that falls below it, we categorize him as a bum. So that is
Hmm.
what
I'll give
Kivior
you my
was
thought
affected
process
by.
on this. My
Hmm.
thought process on this is okay, make Kivior stay as much as he can. I mean, you can wait, let's go to the other point. I'd say making Calafiori stick at left back for another season is good for him, thinking that Gabriel would stay next season. When
Yeah,
Gabriel gets sold is the time when Calafiori would actually um, go full throttle from left center back for this club. And that is solely because of how I'd see Arteta's squad planning.
yeah.
Now, the conundrum in this is the fact that Kiwior stocks are high at the moment. And those stocks are high as to what, 25, 30 million. Whatever it is, that's the majority we're going to get. And
Yeah.
if you see him being the second fiddle of Gabriel also next season, considering he doesn't gets injury, whatever, the fact that Kivior can actually cover, he's given us enough to believe now that he can. But we know as much as the outside talk is that he wants to move for minutes. He wants to move as a starter now. He would
Exactly.
prioritize going back to Italy in an environment which he's more comfortable in. So these are some factors I think, but this all again depends on the amount of sales we have. Okay, Tierney as well is going to be gone. So that's like 3 to 4 left backs that we aim to just throw away next season. So we would have to get the numbers in.
True.
I wouldn't be heavy on spending upwards of 40 or 45 million on Jorel Hato because, again,
Hmm.
I'm not saying that the player is not good. I'm just saying that
He'll come
do we
for 30,
actually need
35.
a signing like that?
He'll
If
come
there's
for
a
30,
bidding war,
35.
if there's a bidding war involved in getting him, because Liverpool is after him as well.
Okay. I think the comments that are available. Nobody has said anything regarding the left back positions available. But an old target of Arsenal. I know Hato is nice. Me and Aarush covered his profile. Actually,
Yeah,
Aarush covered and I recorded this video with him in the summer. Do you guys think Diamond would be a better centre back option?
raw,
Too
raw,
expensive.
very very raw.
Expensive is a point, but I
Nah,
thought
nah,
he
nah,
was
nah.
okay.
No need
Okay.
for him.
Okay. Okay.
If you're
Well,
getting
Nah.
a Housen for 50 million on a release clause, why would you go for a
Yeah.
Diomande who's playing for Sporting and hasn't done much this season? I haven't watched him, but he's not done much.
Oh yeah, if Hoisin is available, why the hell are we
Exactly.
thinking of
Guy can play
MLS?
right center back, left center back.
Ha,
That's
ha, ha.
all you need for this squad. Then you can
It,
think of getting a left back if MLS is being thrown into midfield because, like we said, MLS we didn't expect him to break through directly this season. He's he's saved us money,
Hmm.
and then you have Calafiori there as well. Then you
True.
have Calafiori
I
playing
agree.
left center back as well. Then you have Kivior as well. So how many players are we gonna entertain, and how much depth are we gonna
And a left
entertain?
footed. I think getting Hoisin would be better because he covers both LCB and RCB because we've been lacking
We
right,
The
when you
thing
RCB.
is,
think of
he's
it,
difficult to attain.
we still don't have a right-sided centre back who can cover for
Exactly,
Saliba.
Uh,
exactly.
That's why I think Hoisin would be a better option because he
Hoyson
covers
would
both.
be Hoyson would be the ideal signing, but then again, does our project provide him the perfect ground to
Yeah,
I think so. It
develop
does.
himself?
definitely
Because
do.
It
say
does, but
say
again,
Saliba leaves in a year or two,
that's a
not even in a
no-brainer,
year
man.
or two. I mean, I'm just saying a case
Uh-huh.
where we don't win something next season as well. I'm just saying. I mean, we would win something, of course, but just not being so optimistic. Think of Saliba
Would be
actually running
very
down
good.
his
Yeah,
contract,
yeah, yeah.
which he probably will sign now, but he could
I
still
agree.
force for an exit next season. And see,
As
as
long
much
as
as we have
Saliba gets us money, I would be open to selling. Yeah.
next season, not
Next
after
season,
this.
100%. Yeah, yeah, yeah. After
Okay.
the next season is done. After the
After
next
he's
season.
completed the project, for sure you can leave, bro. You've given us
100%.
enough.
I would.
But see, this
uh,
is exactly we have enough left footers on one side, and
Hmm.
then we have right footers on the other side where we have White who can play right center back, Timber who can play right center back. They both
Hmm.
can play right back. Then you have the same thing. I think we are in a good spot, to be honest,
Yeah.
in terms of squad. But the
Hmm.
only thing is, all of these are injury prone players. All, literally all.
And to be fair, even Martinelli can play right back. Anyways,
Yep.
Ainsley, he will be in Paris, but I mean, I don't think we need to see that forward. If you have been seeing a bunch of Color Fury pictures, you can clearly see what we're up to. I don't want to mention it, but yeah. Mukesh, come. Hey, is this first time as well? Welcome, Mukesh. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're subscribed. I hope you have liked the channel. I like the stream as well. We've hit 607 subscribers. Wow.
So
Before stream, how much did we have?
605.
604? 600.
605.
605.
We get 2 subscribers. Good. Target to 700 soon and 1000 later. Welcome to the stream.
100K, 100K.
100K. Yeah. His comment says, without party, you guys think we will win the midfield part? Uh, yeah,
We should be winning it.
Ye-
we should
We
be.
Yes.
spoke of the tactical thing of side a couple of minutes
Uh,
Yeah.
back,
With,
but
Lewis Kelly inverting, he becomes as good as a midfielder. So we'd be fine.
since because PSG doesn't have a very physical midfield, that's why I'm like slightly okay that I know that MLS could handle it dropping into the midfield. My only concern is how will Merino and Trossard
Yeah.
complement each other while while one is dropping in deep while one is making third man run. Right? That's the
That will
technique.
be very interesting to watch.
That is interesting to see. If we had
If
Jesus, I would 100% say we're winning this no matter what. Because
Haha.
Jesus falls in
Yes,
position.
yes, yes. That guy, man.
Jesus came off the bench versus PSG last time, by the way, for Trossard.
Yeah. For all the slack that Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz get, you'd realize how important they are against a team like PSG. Not
When
even
Kai
that.
Havertz would have been so important for this team, for this
Rumor has
season,
rumor has
for
it that
Real Madrid, for anything.
rumor has it that second length he could be available at least on bench. Fingers crossed.
Fuck
Fingers
second
crossed.
leg, bro. Give me Havertz in the final if you make it, bro.
Ah,
It was meant to be
make it
for him
again.
to come back in the final, score
Yep.
that winning goal, bro. Or score a goal, in fact.
It's a
He
long way
said
to
he
go.
he said it himself.
And that's
I
true.
have won the
That,
Champions League, but I'd
uh,
rather love it more if I win it with Arsenal. So
with the Dawson. True. Arun
Oh,
Sari.
Shesko, bro, Shesko.
I would take
ah,
Watkins. I would take Watkins. How about that?
Good
But
shout.
he's throwing a differential option to be like a bit
Uh,
more.
good shout. We had this discussion when you weren't on
Yeah,
stream.
I know,
We
I know.
had a
I've seen
discussion
it.
about Watkins and
God,
Delap.
every stream 10 minutes dedicated for which striker Arsenal needs. Dude, last stream,
So
last stream,
uh,
last stream.
Aarush wants Sesko. I want Gyökeres / Watkins, and Sucheet wants Watkins.
No, no, see,
Raja wants Sesko, and then who else? Salman wants whom?
Gyökeres.
Gyökeres.
See, why I want Watkins is because if you're signing a second striker as well as a project, it would
Yeah,
be
we had
beneficial.
that discussion.
Because signing
Perfect.
just a
Yeah,
Sesko or a Dilap or a project in that case wouldn't honestly like put us in that top corner. Ha, pakka they were winning. But if you have like a Watkins, a finished or a Premier League proven striker who's done well even in the UCL against teams like
yeah.
uh, against other teams in the UCL who have done well. And until he fought with Unai Emery or he's been ostracized from the Aston Villa
But
side,
he'll have to get some minutes now that Rashford is out for the season. He'll have to play the remaining 4 games. Ah,
Rashford
what?
is out for the season.
Rashford out for the season? What do you mean?
he got his hamstring done, I think. Look at Onstein's tweet.
Mikel
Wait, wait,
Arteta has done it again.
wait. What do you this tweet? How?
He tweeted it sometime back. I mean, he
Yeah.
tweeted it out today, but there's been like 3 4 hours.
How? Let me just share this screen. I guess people will also see.
Oh yeah. The Marcus Rashford's loan spell with Aston Villa could come to a premature end due to his injury. Set to be
Oh,
deemed fit
uh,
directly in June. Sai, he was having such a nice spell, bro. It's time for Asensio and Watkins to step up
Why?
for their fight for what? For their fight for what? They have just been clean swept from the FA Cup.
Unai Emery, man.
like some people say,
Crystal Palace, bro. Major respect.
I won't utter a word, man. Because if I do, I can go on and on and on about Unai Emery.
mm-hmm.
But
Mr.
who is the striker that you want, Arul Salman? Please
Yeah,
let
yeah,
us.
yeah. Good question. Good question. Arul, who do you want? That is a big question. Who do you want? Uh, Sanchit. Oh, I guess we have some nice
What the fuck? What the
बात
fuck?
से वैसे भी पूछ वाली vibes are-
Oh,
just like he likes second striker now, proper striker now, midfielder person like me.
Shots fired, bro. Shots fired.
Uh,
this guy,
apart
man.
whoever is Parth's girlfriend, we didn't mean for this to come out in this way. I'm sure he must have spoken to you in person. But yeah,
I'll give you the reason behind this comment. So ever since Havertz was signed, Sanchez was against him. Alright. So anything that Havertz did, he was like, Nana, bin him, he's not good enough. And I was the one who was always taking a side that he's got good movement, he'll come good. He was our most important player in the run in. He's not a striker, but yeah, he's pretty important to the way we function. So he was like, हाँ तुझको ऐसी पसंद आते हैं players देखो जो एसीएम भी नहीं है सेंटर फॉरवर्ड भी नहीं है तो ये सब बीच वाले प्लेयर्स ही
जो
पसंद
बीच में
आते हैं yes.
okay.
Okay.
I have nothing else to say. What do you want me to say? Uh, but Mr. Salman, his humble presence in my WhatsApp has said that interesting fact. Last time Arsenal won a European trophy in 1994 was the Cup Winners' Cup, and we beat PSG in the semi-final.
top 10 hard stats.
Yeah. Sorry, Sanchit. I don't think you're sorry, Sanchit. I definitely don't think you're sorry. Arul Selvan says, Vartman. If,
50.
Oh,
if you said
Kivior?
if you said Kivior for 50, right?
Statue.
Say,
No, for
Statue.
real, no, we haven't seen how Berta sells as well. The first
True,
player
true.
he said, I mean, most of them are going for free this season, but if we have some guy to be sold for who is a 20, 25, 30 million player for 50 million, it'll be crazy, bro.
Come on.
Edu
If
might
Kivior
just
is
have
sold
a panic attack
for
in Brazil.
if Kivior is sold for any amount between 40 and 50 million, Andrea Berta, you have my respect.
Anything,
I'm
please
done.
take. Please take.
I'm done.
Uh, Chekri from Leon.
Ooh,
Okay.
Cherky.
He Cherky from Leon. The only thing that stands out regarding Cherky is the fact that somebody said Cherky is like a Messi of Santos.
There's a reason as to why majority of the clubs aren't signing him. And
Yeah,
I don't see why it is because this guy is anytime you watch him, I've watched I watch Leon games these days because to watch, of course, Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Mr. Lacazette prior to the United game. But this dude is like crazy, man. How does he
yeah,
function like this and still not have I I really think this guy has quite a little of an age fraud in him because this guy's too good for his age. He's too good for his age of 20.
The game
And
against Manchester United, oh, brilliant. But where
it
was
was very,
finishing?
very good over
Where
both
was
the legs. It wasn't even in the second leg. In the first leg, he was very good. Him
okay, okay.
and Mikau Tadzi, both of
yeah,
them were tearing it apart.
Greek Greek god, bro. But yeah, Cherky, nah, bro. I don't see him. I don't see a spot for him at Arsenal.
Uh,
Cherky again, Ryan Cherky is that beach wala player. He's not a midfielder. I mean, he's not an attacking midfielder. He's not a winger. He's somewhere in
mhm.
between.
For that, we already have Ethan Vanier, but we do not know where to put him. We just know that
Nah,
he needs to be somewhere in there. It's fine. One headache is good enough.
Fair.
Why are we looking at Hoyster and Kunde? Kunde, yeah, I
The
mean,
links were
links have come
the
on,
links
right?
to Koundé were
nah.
bad, but
My Kunde would
Hoyson links have substantial evidence through the
Hmm.
sources. Koundé
Hmm.
ones don't, and I don't see
True.
Koundé leave Barca as well.
Kunde won't make any sense at Arsenal.
True, true.
We already have a right back, right centre back profile. At
Mhm.
least two we have that too.
Yeah, unless like somehow Ben White is like, fuck it, I want to leave. I don't think Kunde is some
Why would
decent.
he do that, man?
I know. We never know, na? Like, why did
He's quite
Neymar
old to leave. I
leave?
mean, he's
We
28
saw
now, no?
Neymar.
Isn't White 28?
When we
No.
I
signed him, he was like 24, 25, man. Nah?
Ben White. Let's just search, bro. Ben White is actually 27 years old.
27. Yeah. When we signed him, he was like 23, 24, right? Right, right, right.
And considering his recurring injuries that he might have from now on, I don't see a vision. When is he contracted till?
I think 27.
He's also turning
2027.
27.
He'll be leaving at the end of next season.
Speaking of contract, Saka told. I mean, news has broken that Saka is renewing, so that's good news.
Yep.
And like a certain uh, academy
MLS and
guy
One
going
Area
to.
are also supposed to be signing.
Mhm.
Yep.
Definitely,
It is
definitely.
a possibility that we would announce the three Highlanders contract extension at one time.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, at least the
And
content that
Gabriel's
the
supposed to get his as well.
Yeah. See,
oh,
I am
Martin.
only worried about Saliba, man. The rest, all of them will be renewing. I'm pretty confident about that.
Saliba just signed what last year, right?
Yeah?
No,
Saliba
Two
was
years.
22,
Saliba
23.
didn't. When he
Okay.
started for
Saliba
Arsenal,
signed
that's when he
for Saliba signed for a 4 year
four
contract. So
twenty
it
twenty
would
seven
2027.
twenty
Yeah.
twenty three. So yeah, 2023 he said when he first started playing for the club directly.
Mhm. Fair.
If he renews, then I'll have no issues because I'm pretty confident that we'll get all the other contracts sorted.
Mhm. Alex from Canon podcast mentioned Max Day.
Ooh,
Oh, this guy's a very good profile.
Yeah,
good shout, man. Good
good
shout.
shot.
I
Good
like
shot.
it.
But what do you think about this left back?
And this guy's not giving us
Uh,
his personal or this thing,
Uh,
bro. He's just naming names.
Arun, are you
but
testing? Are you testing our ball knowledge? Is this some kind of test that we need to?
it's a good shout, man. I watched him play against Villa. Yeah, against Villa, he was very good, man. He was a proper fullback. You could say that he was bombing on the flanks and he was doing all sorts of things. He'll be a good shout, and I've heard plenty of people praising him.
Eze. For left wing, Eze.
Semenyo. Semenyo. Eze for a
Okay.
central position, Semenyo out wide.
Exactly. If Eze plays left wing for us, he can play the role of a left center mid hybrid for us as well. But
Fair
Eze,
enough.
but Semenyo, who I would want to see him at right wing,
Hmm.
I don't see
Huh.
him have a spot from because his right foot ain't that good. I mean,
Being
at
comfortable
least
left foot.
playing from the left,
Hmm,
at
hmm,
least from
hmm.
the left, it ain't as good.
And
Semenyo.
also, 3 4 days back when I was sitting with my roommate, a friend who's a United fan, who
Oh,
they
I
got
watched that
linked with,
match.
no, who was linked to Kuna. He
Hmm.
was like, I need to see how wasteful this guy is because United are like very wasteful, right? So that time he put Semenyo as well in there. Semenyo has the worst conversion rate. I mean,
But he
with
has the
Ah,
most
computer,
oh,
shots. He has the most shots in the league. That is like
exactly.
126 or something.
but he's got
In
8
compared
goals.
to,
Hmm,
yep, in compared to
exactly.
Salah, who is the next best at
Hmm,
115
hmm.
or 116, something like
When
that.
looking at efficiency, right? Mbuemo took one of the least number of shots, but his conversion rate is insane.
Yep.
Probably even better
His
than
XG
Salah.
is also very high.
Exactly, better than
But then
Salah
again,
too.
there are two different kind of wingers. Brian Mbuemo is more of an inside winger who will actually play in a two up top formation. So it's but obvious that he would end up in areas where he's getting more chances to shoot. As for the left wing position, am I really focusing on the output of a winger? I'm not. If you give me the basic 1v1 ability and the ability to create chaos and generate creativity, I'm all for a left wing. And you can have the same argument about Nico Williams. He doesn't have the best stats, but it all boils down to the eye test.
No, but potential wise, Nico Williams is much higher than both of them. And
100%.
even per game for a league in La Liga, I mean,
Yeah.
of course, you can have questions as to how he would do in the Premier League, but Nico Williams is higher. And also, dating back to the Manchester United talk to Kuna or Semenyo, I watched their whole game versus Bournemouth because I actually wanted to see how Bournemouth play, and it was very this thing that they didn't end up winning the 3 points, and they managed
Yeah.
to equalize through Hoyland in the 90th minute. But
Shade guy finally
um,
scored.
I was gonna say that, but I was like, shit, let's just leave it there.
But
But bro, I
his
really
post
don't
after
understand.
that, he wanted 3 points, but I needed the success.
This guy and his Instagram, bro, it just runs different. But actually thinking of United, I really don't know which profile is actually going to benefit them. You can think of midfield profiles, but in attack, really don't know how they're going to operate, bro.
Yeah.
Because the names like a Kuna also in this side, how is a Kuna and Bruno Fernandes function together in a side? Both of them are so attacking minded, so this thing. Both of them are not going to be complementing each other. Okay, I might be wrong in that sense, but I then watched Garnacho play and I was like, shit, man, thank God this guy doesn't play for my club. Then I have Hoyland who actually rushes every action that he has. Then Chido Obi Martin came in. I mean, for Amorim, I think the game came in their side. I don't know why we're talking about United, but I think the game came in their side because of Chido Obi Martin. And just that fact that Semenyo in United colors wouldn't fit. Neither do I see a
Yeah.
Kuna in their set fit. I mean, Kuna can fit for the amount of goals and assists that he can give, and they can feel the Bruno Fernandes 2020 level as to how, oh my God, he's stat padding for us. But then in
Yeah.
the long run, you actually think of building the squad around him, and you're like, okay, what have we done? So certain aspects
I
make me
agree.
think fit. Sorry for
I agree.
digressing, bro. I don't know what I was saying.
I weirdly feel if Mbuemo goes to United, he would do so
Uh,
much better than any other player out there because he can keep the
nah.
But
ball.
they operate in a back three though. Where is he going to fit?
Yeah.
Right as RCM? What is he going to do from RCM, bro? He's not a player who would track back. If you think of Semenyo, yes, I would agree. Right center mid is where he would track back because even against the game versus United, this guy was boarding Mainu, boarding Mount, boarding Fernandez, and this guy was actually playing those passes which were rushed.
To be fair, to body Mainu and Mount is not so much.
No, 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 no. Not, I'm just saying as to how he bodies them, not bodying them like just like that. It's the same pattern I've watched in January what he used to do when I'd analyzed his profile. It's the same as to how good he is physically and his agility to make those turns and then play those
Yeah,
passes, which I think he needs to do better in. So I don't see Semenyo as a name for Arsenal as well. Eze, I would agree.
Emily
Uh,
is very good.
Arun, what do you think about Lookman?
Has
Because
he replied to
Yeah,
any?
Lookman looks like he's out of Atlanta by the end of the season, right? What do you guys think about that? I mean, I'm asking the concurrent views. Lookman,
I saw someone
Yeah.
suggest a Adamela Lookman for Hoyland in some United stream, and I was like, "What is this? What is this going on, bro?" I'm like, just because you want to sell an Atlanta project back, you're just linking him to
What
Lookman.
the hell is this?
Wow.
Gary. How are you, Gary? Uh, any quotes for us today? Any statements for us today? I hope you're doing well, man.
Any?
I
Yeah.
hope you're mentally doing well because what had happened
Uh,
in the UCL, what had happened in Copa del Rey is not normal because of the kind of drama that you guys have brought onto your own side. You put out the video. You wanted changes
but then
every.
again, they've got 15 UCL, so it's fine.
Oh, huh, that is true. They'll cry like this, I guess. In 50. We're sorry, please. We come, please. Why is Aarush wearing a retro Ronaldinho PSG? He's new.
Reverse jinx. Not Ronaldinho, but Abramovich. Yeah.
Sanchit, are you not aware of the jinx that is trying to be
Reverse jinx, bro.
right?
Reverse jinx. We brought in Opel from 1990s just for this. We revived the whole brand for just this.
Uh,
Arsenal women, oh my, dude, I want to talk about the Arsenal match
What a
properly, but
game, bro.
what a game, dude. Oh my
for
god.
someone, for someone who was watching women's football for the first time, and had they not known that Leon is a team that is regarded as the best team alongside Barcelona, you wouldn't have figured that out watching the game. It was terribly one-sided. I don't know what was happening to Leon, but yeah, they were pathetic, man. They were pathetic.
Uh, I'm aware of Leon, the women's the women's side of Leon is like Madrid of the men's side.
Yeah, 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 100%.
And the fact that this team is also very, very strong, not like a Madrid team which has great individuals. Right? So I was reading a little bit again, not like I'm some big women's. Not like I watch a lot of women's team, but I've been watching a lot of the UCL games, and since the new manager, I've been aware of a lot more of the Arsenal women's side as well, right? And to see the kind of position that Arsenal women are right now, because with the old manager, we were struggling to beat teams,
Yeah.
and this team,
I mean, if you see that form that they were in prior to this Champions League run is only crazy. It's like that Arsenal 2020 run, and then suddenly you just win an FA Cup or something.
and the fact that we are in the Champions League final after what 18 years, 18 years, right? It's incredible, and to beat that Leon, putting four passes, we nullified the lead in the first half.
Yeah.
We nullified the lead, and then Russo scoring such a Henry-esque kind of goal. Brilliant to watch.
But
Such a
man,
Henry-esque goal.
Mariona Caldente, man. What a player that woman is, man. Wow. Uh, I could not believe my eyes that I was watching the same Leon that is touted to be invincibles. Every season they barely lose a game. Barely
I
lose a
think
game.
they've considered 3 goals the whole season or something. Yeah. And they
Crazy, man.
considered four in like no time against Arsenal.
In 1 hour, they considered four. Brilliant.
Insane, insane.
Sanchez says Manchester United fans are deluded and I'm all for it. Bruno is the second best midfielder, Park KDB. Kobe Mino is a baller. Ugarte is decent. Chelsea is another player. Park looks at
Uh,
us will get 50.
Zergzi, I rate. Out of all these signings, there's only two players I rate. It's one is Zergzi and the other is Kobe Mino. Done.
Bro, I think Mount did a better job in the second half than what Mino did in the whole of the game. But I get why Mino is rated highly. I get it.
I like Kobe Mino, man. But if anyone talks about Ugarte being a good footballer,
Bro, he got a mustache done or something, and he looks so similar to Bruno Guimaraes. I mean, I don't know, so you can run back pictures of him versus Bournemouth the other day, but he looks so similar to Bruno Guimaraes. I was like,
The
what the
best
fuck?
way, the best way to describe Ugarte is Lucas Torreira. Same man. That guy does nothing, but he just runs into place, trying to act all strong and all that.
Another ex PSG talent that Luis Enrique had to sell
He's
off because he knew he
trash,
was so
man.
bad.
Manuel Ugarte is trash. Bruno, though.
Okay.
Bruno
I'll
Fernandez
be,
is my guy.
I'll be fair to Mino. I think Mino has a certain clutch gene in him. Because last season also, when they needed to win against Wolves, I think Wolves, if I'm not, because Wolves was United in the last three
Wolves,
for the
yeah.
last 3 seasons has been cinema. All 3 games, I mean, all 3 seasons, home and away, all 3 games, all 3 cinema. And Mino has been clutch for them, and even against Leon, right? He's the one who scored that clutch goal to equalize the on aggregate, and
Yeah.
then Maguire did the Maguire thing. So the
But
one
then
thing with
again, Kobe
Maguire,
Minu isn't a 6, he isn't an 8, he isn't a 10, he isn't a 9. What is he? I don't know. That is the issue.
I think he's sort of misprofiled. Yeah.
This guy vanishes midstream every time.
I
What
think
is
he's I think he's sort of misprofiled like McTominay because
Yeah,
McTominay is not the he's more like a sweeper than a ball carrier in my opinion. McTominay,
yeah,
right? And at the same time, he can crash in the box and score those. He can make those third man runs, which we sort of saw that last season in the very end.
yeah.
And then see him getting sold in summer. I was like, you started to just profile him properly, and then you sold him. I was see, I'm not a big fan of United, but when I see bunch of players, I love this. Okay, okay, what do you say? Where was I?
Let's
When I
hear, but
see, yeah, when I see bunch of players being misprofiled and then judged based on that, I don't get it. I
yeah,
honestly don't get it. At Arsenal, when Xhaka was misprofiled and then finally profiled, people started to see who Xhaka is. Even with this thing, McTominay. I'm not a big fan of McTominay, but I definitely know that he's been misprofiled highly because when you saw for Scotland, when did his best output came in, or when was he playing the best? When he's in the more in that attacking positions. I've not seen a lot of Scotland play, but I've seen enough of highlights, or I've seen enough that you can see that this guy is not a defensive kind of player. Like you can't put him second fiddle to Casemiro because Casemiro is not physical enough to play as a lone guy. So you need somebody with him, and McTominay is not that guy. But if you play McTominay as a box crashing midfielder or to sweep up the ball in late on and then
yeah, I
run,
agree.
he's definitely better. And look at him, Napoli, 2 goals.
United isn't as bad a team as it is being portrayed to be right now, man. That team is not bad enough to be 15th. Come on, Amorim needs to take some accountability, man. What's going on?
1 second, am I glitching or I can't see Aarush anywhere because my WhatsApp started to
Arush is
glitch.
not here. Arush is not here.
Okay, okay, Aarush is not here. I'm trying to contact him either on WhatsApp as well.
He'll join in, man.
Huh, probably something happened. Okay, we'll look at the rest of the comments.
Yep.
Do we need proper competition for Odegaard? Or
Moihan Sunset. Good player, but he is not the Odegaard profile that we want.
okay,
And
okay.
again, he is at Athletic Club, if I'm not mistaken.
He's an athletic club.
He's for
Yes.
the nah. Is, does he play at Athletic Bilbao?
It is a
I
Bilbao.
am not too sure. But yeah, he's not a similar profile. I do agree that we need competition for Odegaard, but yeah, Oihan Sunset is not it. I mean, a very good player, but he doesn't fit in Odegaard's position.
I would put words in that similar profile, but not exactly
Ah,
words.
Florian Wirtz is that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think words would suit us.
If you have to transition into a 4-2-3 win and we play with a center attacking midfielder, Florian Wirtz will do a very good job. Yeah.
Uh, Gary, best of luck for the PSG game, bros. I'm a big fan of PSG midfield. defending against PSG will be 5x difficult than Real Madrid for us. Could be, definitely. See,
I'll just say one thing, man. Why do people suddenly forget that this is the same team that we beat? We beat them 2-0, man. Why is it that we've beaten Real Madrid and still people are only talking about PSG and not
Mhm.
Arsenal, man? It's a bit weird. But yeah, we like being low key.
We don't mind it. We don't. We
Yeah,
honestly
we
don't mind
move in silence. We move in
it.
silence.
We're not being too cocky that we can't do anything against PSG. We're obviously very wary about the kind of pace and the kind of depth they have in the front three. They have 6 players who can do anything coming off the bench as well. So they're good. It's just that we have confidence in our defense because that is what Mikel Arteta has been building for forever.
This
Right?
is the same confidence that we had before the Madrid game. I was pretty confident that if we play our football, we'll win the game because I know that we are a very good team, and it isn't in any way, a dig at PSG that we don't rate them or anything. We rate them, but I rate Arsenal higher. It's as simple as that. Yeah.
Arul Selvan says we need more goals from. Okay, question. Do we need more goals from him or more influence from it this year? It doesn't have to be good.
Influence,
Because
influence.
exactly, I feel more influence is needed than goals. Goals can be scored from
Yeah,
anyone. I know
I
Odegaard
agree.
scored a bunch of goals that peak Arsenal at the season. But the question to the concurrent viewers, or especially Arul, would be: you need more influence from him in spite of not getting goals, or do you want just goals? Because if you want goals, then we need to target a different profile than an Odegaard type of profile.
I agree. I completely agree. Arush,
Influence only. I think people are asking for more of the goals because of the season he had in 2022-23, and people don't really put into fact that what our team was back then, how teams used to set up against us, the main profiles we had in the squad in terms of an inverter in Zinchenko and then a ball player in Xhaka. I think people don't really see that, so it's a
Arul, we
clear
did
answer.
a stream on Odegaard. Please do give it a watch. We've discussed it in detail.
Oh yeah, we had a 3 hour stream. Almost 45 minutes was given just for Odegaard.
Yeah,
Multiple opinions, a lot of discussion regarding it. So do check it out. I think it's 2 streams back if I'm
two
not wrong.
steals back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Oina San? Okay, same question. Uh, Parth, he said it's not a similar profile. Arush, any idea how he plays or influence he could
He's
have?
basically as a box crasher from center mid, left
Yeah.
center mid. If you want to, but we already have a profile of him in Havertz and Merino, so I don't see a need of him coming in,
Hmm, hmm,
which
hmm.
completely just
I
says as to
agree.
what his
Because
profile is.
Ainsley is a Barca fan, and I think he watches. I'm not. I think he definitely
Yeah.
watches.
He plays
Goal
for
scoring 8
Bilbao,
out
right?
of 10.
I've seen him play.
Mm-hmm. He's more of a scoring number 8 or a number 10. I think he actually switch you guys. Sanjay loves this combination of my name is Sucheet. Huh?
Sucheet Sanchit.
Oh, damn. Crazy. Gary says it's a season to forget, but we
Club
should
World Cup.
to play and we'll be back next season more stronger with a legend like
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
apparently this guy won't even manage the Club World Cup, right? Carlo.
Ah.
Brazil will look to sign
See,
him before that.
I'll just say one thing. You give us Zubimendi, you take anyone you want. You keep Xabi Alonso, you keep Mbappe's of the world, you keep Bellingham's of the world. I don't care. And
And
please,
don't and
please,
don't touch Saliba as well.
yeah, and don't touch Saliba, and don't touch Saliba. And please don't face us next season. We are all good, man.
No, face us, face us, face us,
Nah,
face us,
man,
man.
I can't take all the nonsense that was going on. Nah, nah, nah.
no,
It'll
it
be
is fine.
funnier because the PR would be so made up even more that they lost us last time. I think it's just meaning to fall into picture that we need to see them play
But,
again.
but at least, man, Real, come on, they can still win the league, man. Please.
Nah, bro.
Please.
Hansi
Uh,
Flick is not giving him a chance there.
Barca
I,
just
I,
Barca
I
just
honestly,
knows how to get those results, man. Yeah.
I honestly wish we can face Madrid in a group stage game and not in a knockout game.
Works.
Why? Because right now they are saying, oh, since it's like a knockout game, anything can happen. That is why Arsenal have won. with
You're getting an
promotion.
advantage over 2 games at your home as well, bro. You should be
Exactly,
performing.
exactly, exactly. And
But I'm glad that we faced Real because the world could see how good of a team we are and how good Arteta is. So
Bro, I remember Ainsley sending me a message prior to the Copa del Rey game and even after the game. He's like,
uh,
bro, Arsenal have rattled Real Madrid and their fans. And I'm like, yes, thank you. We are there, bro. It is too funny.
one more question. I think at this point, I think Arul is just testing us, right?
Yeah, bro. Aarush is like, bro is just naming all the ball knowledge things he's having.
Which is
yeah,
good. We welcome all of it. If you
Yes,
have the
sir.
choice, will you choose Kamavinga or Supermendi for the sixth position?
Very nice.
Hmm.
Very nice comparison.
Subi parampara.
I want Parth's opinion because before the season started, I asked in a video. I mean, I asked people to submit all their this thing. Which is one player that you think Arsenal should? I mean, which one player that your club should target?
I gave his name.
I'll come
How
up.
do you remember that, bro?
Crazy man, yeah, he actually remembers this.
No, because I wanted Kamavinga back in 23 itself. So when somebody else said Kamavinga, it stuck with me. Parth said Kamavinga back then. I was like, thank God.
I I see Kamavinga as a left-sided number eight. I do not see him as a six, and he won't be good enough as the six, as Zubimendi will be for us. So purely based on that, no. My whole idea behind Kamavinga at Arsenal was Declan Rice will be the number six, which again he won't predominantly be. So yeah, Kamavinga very good. I love him. I adore him. But nah, Zubimendi for six.
Aarush thoughts? Or is Aarush stuck?
No.
Bro, look like I think Aarush is Aarush. Hey Aarush. Okay, bro is stuck. It's fine. We'll take in the
So
next one.
what will your thoughts be on Kamavinga and
You know,
Zubimendi?
I'd watch Zubimendi because Kamavinga is not.
Kamavinga as a box to box midfielder is brilliant, man. Very
Mhm.
very good, but
True,
not
true.
as a six.
Okay, Arush said that his phone is glitching and he'll join in a minute. Okay. And to answer this question, right, I would choose Kamavinga as an 8 than a 6
Six,
because
yeah.
Kamavinga has regressed at least physically. We do not know about his overall game, but physically he's regressed because he's not being played in that position. And he didn't have to play with that much physicality. He's being played more as a left back than as a midfielder, right? So I think that is why he is regressed. I do not know the exact
So
reason.
you
Hmm.
can uh, answer this question for yourself. Who do
Hmm.
you see starting as the number six for Real Madrid? It's
Hmm.
either Dani Ceballos or Chouameni. It's never Kamavinga.
Exactly. See, I mean, agreed that Jumani is, is a much better physical profile than Kamavinga, but Sapaya is also
Chouameni
having.
is better at recycling the ball.
Hmm,
Kamavinga isn't a recycler.
true, true. You ask him to go
He
carry the
likes
ball,
to
he'll go
run.
carry the ball. That is very good
Yeah,
at
he
it.
likes to run.
We have
Yeah,
seen that with
that is what
France also.
Kamavinga is.
Yeah, yeah. But if we didn't have Rice or MLS doing so well by playing that
100% Kamavinga.
ball side position or playing a hybrid position, then I would say get Kamavinga no matter what. But I think
I agree.
it would be
Yeah,
an
if
over.
if
Uh,
when I made that, when I made my signings clear, it was based on the fact that we didn't have a good left back then. We had Zinchenko, who the fan base didn't want to continue for another season as a starting left back, and obviously Lewis Kelly was not discovered back then. So my idea was he can deputize at left wing, left wing. He can deputize as the left back, and he can play as the eight. And playing as the eight, we needed a midfielder who could actually play as the eight and be left footed. And at that time, we weren't linked with Merino, and Merino had not joined. So yeah,
no, I think he did.
no. I'm pretty sure it was start of the season.
Mm-hmm. Sanjay says, "Is Ange just a poor man's Hansi Flick? Honestly, feel bad for the guy. He would fit well at a dog. He would
Leipzig
fit.
should sign him, to be honest.
Ooh,
considering
actually, they
Leipzig
should.
aren't. Very nice shout.
Mm-hmm.
Dortmund also have their manager to be sacked or something, or is he already sacked?
Dortmund, I think they want to get rid of him, if I'm not wrong. Or something. Not sure.
Very
But
true.
definitely, and would do so much better at a club that wants to win than just try and shit on Arsenal, right? Definitely, he would do so much better at a club that would encourage him to win games or win trophies. So, I don't know. Do you think he would do well at Brighton? Because Brighton loves to play a lot of attack. No?
No, 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 no. Brighton should be there with Hustler only because that guy is getting used to how they function with the talents that they produce. So
Yep.
I think
And
I think Hustler is very good tactically, and Ange is not that.
and just people rate Ange Postecoglou because his football is good on the eye, pleasing on the eye. It's not good football, man. And name me one team that has been wary of space of facing Spurs. Not one team. Even if you're 2 goals down against them, you would back yourself to score three on them because they are that poor. And it's not that he's been given poor defenders, because if we go by what all the other fan bases say, Van de Ven is better than Gabriel, and Kuti Romero is better than Saliba. So going by that logic, they actually have got half decent defenders, and coupled with their fullbacks, Destiny Udogie and Pedro Porro. I mean, come on, that that team does not have poor personnel. It's the way they are managed that they are 14th, 15th, 16th, wherever they are.
And I can honestly see Cudi Romero end up at Atletico next season. I do not know why. I
He'll
think
go there, man. He's a crackhead. He'll fit in perfectly well at that club.
true. So
100%.
yeah. Aarush says not many Indian Arsenal fans discussions online. Keep up the good work. Hey, thanks man. Thank you so much. I think you should be aware of this big YouTuber from the Arsenal point of view, from an Indian point of view as well. Daksh.
Football with Daksh.
Yeah,
Go check out his channel, man.
yeah,
Very, very
Football
good.
with Daksh. A very good channel as well. Big channel actually. More than huh? What happened?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. Vipra says, Hola. Welcome, Vipra. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Uh, Gary, I'm happy with Don Carlo. He's leaving at the end of season with proper farewell and deserves respect. He's the most.
I agree. I completely agree, man. The way Carlo Ancelotti is talked about in the Madrid fan base, you would think that he's the worst coach of all time. Worst coach of all time. And I don't know whether it comes from a position of superiority and just knowing that we are the biggest club in the world and we deserve to have everything which is the best. Don't know if it comes from there, but man, Carlo Ancelotti, he's being butchered by the Madrid fan base. It pains me to see that because, come on.
Yeah, I know. We three or like we four or we five have taken the Mickey by making fun of Don Carlos like uh, hydro and all of it. But come on, there is he is a great manager. One of the only things that didn't make any sense in his career was him ending up at Everton. Because
No,
what the hell was he doing
he
at
actually made Everton half decent, man. Everton was a good side when he was managing them.
They had this guy, no, back then. Who was that? James Rodriguez and all.
James Rodriguez and Calvert Lewin.
Everton? James Rodriguez followed him to Everton.
Bro said Calvert Lewin in the same sentence as James Rodriguez and Aston.
And but Dominic Calvert Lewin was the one who was tearing up at the league back then. And yeah,
At
we were
least
linked.
against
We were
Arsenal,
linked with
yes.
DCL. We were linked with DCL.
He used to
Cool.
always turn up with
Prior
Arsenal.
prior to being linked with Dusan Lahovic, it was Dominic Calvert Lewin.
Prior to them, it was a Julian Draxler or Julian Brandt.
Julian Draxler.
Draxler, oh my. Yeah. But yeah,
Julian Draxler.
to help us in the final few minutes of the stream, let's add Salman. Hey Salman, how are you?
Hi, how are you guys?
Good, bro.
Good.
और जो
You
कहता है
have
हाला
Germany gonna
Madrid.
Hala Madrid.
Guy, man, this guy.
See, that's why I wore red and white for both the colors. Yeah. Mm.
Do you have some interesting facts for us?
I messaged you. I don't know if you told me.
No,
You told.
I already said that. Do you have something
Mm.
else?
Uh, I mean, I think only interesting fact was after the 1994 Cup Winners' Cup, we went to the final again in 1995. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, but we lost the 1995 final. Yeah.
Arey yaar, there's no need for you to tell us that.
Yeah. If I don't know if many Arsenal fans know it, but in that's a famous final in which David Seaman did the error from the he got chipped from the halfway line in the 90th minute. Yeah, we lost
David
to
Raya, get out of my beautiful club.
Real Zaragoza. Real Zaragoza chipped us.
Salu, I'm sorry I had to ask you regarding facts. I'm genuinely sorry. Like you didn't have to bring it up, but
Other
But
than that,
David
Salman,
Seaman.
how do you think of the first leg?
oh yeah.
Uh, honestly, I was very confident after the after we beat Real Madrid. But like looking now at I mean I kind of rewatched the Real Madrid match, and though we scored 5 goals and it was pretty comprehensive win, but yeah, there are some like I feel there are moments where we should have been tested more by Real Madrid. So which I feel PSG will test us more than Real Madrid, and I also think that uh, though Declan Rice had those individual moments which were amazing, do we have a players who can do it more consistently in the big matches? Which is one thing which I am bit wary of, because I'm going to give an example which is sound like insane, but like I was watching the Crystal Palace in Aston Villa match, the kind of goal which Sar scored in the second one, like the one he just took the ball and run and shoot, like those kind of goals we don't see much at Arsenal, like
Star scored.
to be honest. So I feel that kind of directness is a bit lacking in our team, and I hope we can. I feel those kind of moments help in big matches. So I think that's one place where I feel we are lacking. But in terms of structure and all, yes, obviously we are amazing, and we shouldn't be able to like PSG shouldn't trouble us in that way. But I always look at individual moments in big games, and I think that's where I feel PSG has more game changers than us. I feel, yeah.
Fair enough.
So I think it depends on that. If it becomes a match of moments, then I think, yeah, then I think we might be shaky. But if it's a full tactical KG match, then I think we should be able to be, yeah, getting through PSG. I think it all comes down to how good our good players are going to perform and how good their good players are going to perform. Like I think the average level of the team is pretty, like they're not that different. The teams like average, if they play average, both are okay, like similar level. But if like a Dembele or a Hakimi just turn it on in those games, and if Saka or have a like a bad game, or if Rice doesn't have his best game, so that's where I think it all boils down to that. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, it's very tight to call, to be honest. If you look at it in an unbiased way, I don't
Hmm.
think you can just say that Arsenal is the favorite or PSG is the favorite.
No, the unbiased opinion is that PSG is going to blow out Arsenal out of
That's that's not unbiased, to be honest, because that was the same. Everyone thought that with the Real Madrid, and then even with PSV to some extent, and then yeah. So I don't
I
think that.
think from the Real Madrid game now that all the unbiased opinions are that Arsenal are going to blow PSG, and that is on a
Yeah, I think
purposely
it's,
done thing to
yeah.
Yeah.
overrate Arsenal.
That's what I was going to say. Like right now, they're going to act as if because we beat Real Madrid, which is a poor Real Madrid, it's
We
like
should be
they're going to
winning the
expect us to
Champions League
go and
directly.
like destroy PSG also, which does I don't think so. I think what happened with the Real Madrid result was kind of two-edged sword. Like we beat a big name like Real Madrid, but if you see the team Real Madrid, like in terms of footballing ability or like in terms of football team, they're not that great this season. So we beat a big name and a team which consistently wins in the Champions League, but we didn't really beat a very good team this season, like in my opinion. Yeah, especially
I
tactical.
wouldn't agree.
Yeah, I mean, like if you see
Party has
most,
something to say.
if you most of the big games this season, Real Madrid has struggled. Yeah, except for the last Copa del Rey final, which again they lost. So Like I'm gonna say like I don't
I don't
believe
think so. They turned up though for the Copa del Rey. They just had a spell in which they managed to get that.
that's what I'm saying. Like most of the big games this season, Real Madrid didn't really play good, and even in the round of 16, they probably should have like lost if not for the phantom double touch. So yeah, so I think, but honestly, I'm very I'm pretty excited. Like I think we can beat PSG, but I'm not gonna come and say that we are the favorites. That's all. Yeah.
Correct. Parth, you wanted to interrupt and say something?
No, no, no,
No, it's
Also,
fine. It's fine. It's a
interesting.
conversation, right?
You are talking about interesting fact, right? So when
Yeah.
Arsenal were the first team in England to win the FA Cup, both men's and women's simultaneously in the same season. Yeah,
it's happening.
Oh,
and
Okay.
guys, wait a second. I just pulled up the IPL score and I'm seeing Vaibhav Suryavanshi not out at
Yeah,
88
yeah,
with a
yeah.
4.
Bro, it doesn't make any sense.
What the fuck?
Look at his strike rate. Look at his strike rate. Look at his damn strike rate. That bro smashing the shit out of the ball.
He's from the Shahid Afridi School of Cricket.
This
He
guy's
can't be
nose.
14. He can't be 14.
yeah, there was always that video where like there are some doubts, but
Yeah, age
um,
fraud is surely there, bro.
Bro,
because he
94 and 34 balls.
remember that age
Oh,
fraud nice.
but we shouldn't be talking about IPL, man. The moment we start talking about IPL on stream, things go south for Mumbai Indians.
Which is a good thing. Which is a good thing.
But yeah,
Uh,
Mumbai
we
Indians
have
has
a chance
basically pulled
to.
off. Mumbai Indians has basically pulled off a PSG in the last 5 games.
big time.
But yeah, but Arsenal women's and men won FA Cup simultaneously, so hopefully we'll recreate it in Champions League. Yeah.
Inshallah. We need to see. We need to see.
And 18
Arsenal
years
Liverpool.
ago, they reached the final, and now we have a chance 19 years ago. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People are
This is
already
bad. I
dreaming
am not
about
saying they will reach the
the
final. I'm just
people.
saying the fact.
People are already dreaming about a Arsenal Barcelona final. And I'm like,
I mean, if
wait,
you're a
Barcelona.
football romantic, it's a great final.
wait,
Yeah,
wait.
because last
Don't
time it
set
happened,
yourselves up. Don't set yourselves up.
Sanchez says, "Have you guys done PSG Arsenal PSG predictions yet?" No, we didn't. Wait,
2-0 to PSG.
2-0 to
Nah,
PSG.
nah,
Reverse strings, bro.
Oh, okay. 2-0 to PSG. Fair enough.
But did you guys actually do the predictions, like or not?
And
nah,
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 nah.
nah, nah, nah,
We're
nah,
about to.
Atletico Bilbao is winning the Europa Cup, Europa
You
League.
just jinx
nah.
Atletico
I
Bilbao.
agree. I agree.
I
Anything
but
if not Manchester
Last time
United.
Gary sold anything, we saw what happened.
he scored 100. Suryavanshi scored 100 with a six of Rashid Khan.
Of Rashid Khan.
Nice.
This has never happened in the history of cricket.
I mean, Sachin did exist, so uh,
This is this is not what Sachin would even do though. I mean, as much as you consider the age fraud, even for a guy being 16 years old or 17,
Hmm.
whatever you'd call it, this
Hmm.
is insane.
I mean, if he was 16 or
At a
something, I would
strike
say
rate
that
at what,
Sanjay
26
Samson.
balls. That's
280?
crazy.
Yeah.
280.
As long as RR is winning, I'm fine with anything, man. I don't care.
Look at the commentary. Rashid Khan to Suryanshi 6. Rahul Dravid is off his wheelchair.
Yeah.
In
Rahul,
10 overs, they've got 150?
Bro, they hit
what
87 in the power
what
play.
are they doing?
Dude, what the hell are
RR saw Sanju Samson Harambol and they're like, let's take it. Let's just do it.
Sanju Samson haram ball.
They're like, let's not give him the batting. Let's finish it before his batting.
no, but Sanjay Samson is injured. No? That's why. Fair enough.
Sanju Samson
Before
haram
being
ball.
injured, also, he was Harambol only.
Bro, I
Hmm.
wonder how Yashasvi Jaiswal feels batting next to Vaibhav Suryavanshi.
He feels like
Honestly,
Ankh.
actually, he's like, my struggle in my life wasn't enough for a 14-year-old to come next to me and like do this, bro. Imagine. Imagine the person whose spot is being taken by Vaibhav Suryavanshi, bro.
Imagine
That
he's
guy should
having a
retire
child.
at this
He's
point.
like,
Who was the player?
the child will be like, Dad, why aren't you playing? It's like 14-year-old in my face.
Going on, man.
Who was their other opener?
I think Sanju
I think
Samson used to
Sanju
open for
Samson only
them.
was
Oh,
opening.
Sanju Samson. Fair enough.
Sanju
Last year
Samson,
they
I
had
love
Mikel.
ball.
They don't have Mikel.
Bro, this is unreal shit, man. Like even if it's 16
The
also, this is
the
unreal.
best team this season is SRH, followed by CSK.
We are just setting up like the expectations for next season, lowering the expectations, and then immediately next season we'll start banging.
They'd brought in Ishant Sharma as impact player.
Ishan Sharma in
Negative
big
impact.
2025, man. Negative.
What's the age difference between Ishant Sharma and this guy? 36 and
20.
14. Wow,
Ishan Sharma would be
22-year
like
difference.
30,
22-year
36. Huh?
difference.
Ishan Sharma is 36. Wow, man. What's
Okay,
going on?
let's come back to football. Let's come back to do you guys remember
Yeah,
the
yeah,
One
big
yeah.
last
debate
stat. One
about
last stat. One last stat. There was
Ah,
this one Afghanistani dude who was starting this game called Kareem Jannat. It was his IPL debut. He conceded 30 in his first over to Vaibhav Suryavanshi.
30. How many sixes did he hit in that?
Kareem Jannat,
5.
more like Kareem Jannum, it seems.
5 sixes in one over.
What?
no. One, two, three, no, three
Three,
sixes and three fours.
3 sixes. Yeah, 3
3
sixes, 3
sixes. Okay,
fours.
every boundary, every over.
My God. Oh my God. God damn. Okay, but
Lamine Yamal, your chain is about to be snatched. Just saying.
Bipra Bro says, do you guys remember when we were linked to Hosmo? Oh my God.
We spoke of
Yeah,
it
we're
last
still
stream
linked.
only.
We're still
Yeah.
linked with Mata.
Do you guys think Arsenal should go for Water or Rodrigo? Two different profiles, man. Two.
Arey, nahi,
Rodrigo is
just
available.
take it.
Why not?
He's like, should we go for any of?
Ah,
If it is
Aarush,
Rodrigo or Water, I'll go Rodrigo.
spill.
How,
If Rodrigo is available, I'd go for Rodrigo.
Because I want us to get UCL pedigree as much as possible.
He has a clutch gene, whatever you say.
And that as well.
They-
Aarush, what
Adam
do you
Wharton.
would you go
We
for
had
Water or
this
Rodrigo?
discussion.
I'd want
We had this
Wharton,
discussion
but
on
yeah.
Adam Wharton last stream. But Rodrigo, I'll
If you get
take
either
him
of
and
them,
ask.
it's pretty sick.
100% I'll take him and ask.
Wharton would easily cost us 70 to 80 million.
Yeah,
Rodrigo
that's
would
true.
Even Rodrigo would cost us pretty much.
Yeah, yeah,
The thing is that Wharton would still be like a project kind of player, whereas Rodrigo is
Huh.
almost like a finished kind of product now. So who would you rather have? 100 million project player
Rodrigo.
or 100 million almost finished product?
Yeah, I would take Rodrigo because we need attackers. Yeah.
True, true.
And he's
No
quite
one at
versatile
Real
as well.
Madrid. I mean, no one in that fan base rates Rodrigo. I have no idea why, man. He's seen as an outsider, man. Now, there were literally
But
discussions
to be
about
fair to him,
Rodrigo.
this season he spoke big and he didn't deliver. Like when they signed Mbappe, he spoke a lot like they have to earn the place and all those things, and then he has been playing bad this season.
People have literally been saying that he just his name just gets taken because he is the third guy alongside Mbappe and finishes. That's the only reason he's known now.
Actually, with Rodrigo, there is also the thing that he has so many clutch moments that he gets a bit overrated. Like that, like when he like not overrated in the sense he gets spoken about when he gets the clutch moments, and then when he is just normal, he won't be spoken about much.
Ah,
Like
my view on him won't change.
I like him. I'm not.
Nah.
I'm just talking about his perception.
Arun says, why do certain fans online want Arteta to be fired if you don't win the UCL? Include us, bro.
See, online fans
Trophies
are
or I
always
retire.
online fans are like idiotic. You know what's the dumbest agenda right now? Slot won the league title in phase one.
Phase, man. Yeah,
Bro, this is
we through
phase
it.
10 for Liverpool. It's not even. It's like the final product. Their
We've
team is so
been
set.
through it, man.
Yeah, it's like
Like,
Whoever you interact with, who are saying that Arteta needs to be fired if we don't win this year, don't utter a word, man. Just
I liked a good video recently. I saw the football terrace. They posted a video about Emery. Like a lot of Arsenal fans used to cry, "Bring Emery, bring Emery," and then this April has shown that why in the big moments he has floundered in the big moments. In every big match, he has floundered.
Some people are good when they are underrated, man. Let them be
Exactly. I've
underrated.
said this so many times that he's a
Yeah.
manager. If you want to elevate a smaller club to a like a middle level or little near the top, he's good. But then if you bring him in the big moments, he always messes up. Yeah. Palace destroying you 3-0 is actually shameful.
Idiot,
Yeah.
man. That fucking idiot.
And I was a match, it should have been more. It should have been more. Yeah. Palace could have won much more.
Ainsley tears, man. Am I good anymore?
Well, Eva has gone on like a 5 match winning streak, but randomly. Randomly.
And Rohit Sharma also coming into form. That's just like what just happened here.
Rohit Sharma.
No, Real Madrid will do remontada. There's one more Clasico left. Don't worry.
True,
Yeah.
Ah,
true. Gary said Desiree Doué, what a player, man. I see Neymar in him and I'm not Pepsi. Pepsi. He's
Neymar
such a
was a different level, but yeah, I get the comparisons.
The way he moves is like
I
Neymarish.
see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the way he tries to evade even the defender, right, with his trickery, it's just like Neymar. Like,
No
I
problem.
just
He's entering the timber penitentiary soon.
okay.
Penitentiary,
Yeah.
Now,
yes.
I just hope Luis Enrique doesn't iron out all those tricks in him and makes him just like a pass
Nah,
run.
it's
That's not
with the
Enrique's
way,
style. Yeah.
the way PSG plays, it would never happen.
Even when Enrique was at Barca, that was peak Neymar. Yeah.
True,
Yep.
true, true, true. I'm
Mm.
just saying, I know with times managers are adapting, right? I just hope he doesn't go completely out of his way to like
See, one thing
Nah,
about Spanish managers is whatever the style is, they'll never change it. Like Enrique's always been that expansive, like
yeah.
trying to play the game. He'll always be like that. He won't change. Arteta is always the defense first, stability, structure. He'll always be like that. Yeah.
uh, Emery is the Santo Samson of okay. That was pretty good section. Good one. Only performs when no one rates or pays attention.
Exactly.
This is
This
such a
is
good
facts.
comparison, man. I
It's
love it.
facts.
I love it. I love it.
Absolutely. But I would like to draw you guys' attention towards the Inter Milan versus PSG game, Inter Milan versus Barca game, right? Inter Milan, if you guys watched what happened against Roma, they lost even Pavard to injury.
Ooh.
Having Thuram and Pavard out of the game against Barca, do you guys think Barca has a better chance now?
Yeah,
Mm,
100%.
obviously.
100%.
I don't
Because
know. I my only thing is it's like not even tactical related nothing. Like I always see this Inter whenever they are good in the Champions League, they always thrive when they're back against the walls. Like they love it when everything's against them. And I think right now they're in the moment where everything's against them, against them. They lost three in a row, losing injuries. I think Italian sides are the most dangerous when they're the underdog. Like when they no one is expecting them to win. So I think I now obviously if you see the personnel wise, Barca is the favorite because two injuries, Inter is out of form, but I won't be so sure still. Yeah, I mean I rate Barca a lot, but yeah, I feel if Inter keep it tight in the first leg, San Siro, yeah, it's always going to be difficult to go win there. Yeah,
the
I
first
really
leg
don't
is
think
Sanseville.
that
no,
Pavard would
second
be
leg,
a miss though.
second leg is San Siro.
Go on, Arif, go on.
I really don't think Pavard would be a miss though, because I think they have enough personnel in their side to actually bring in the backup. I forgot what's that player's name, but he played against Arsenal. Um,
Acherbi?
what was this?
No.
No, not Acerbi.
Augusto. Nah, nah, he
No,
plays
no,
under
Matteo Darmian.
Matteo
Darmian,
Damian.
Oh yeah, they have Darwin.
Darmian. He played right. He played as
Matteo
a this
Damian.
thing wing back.
Again, a United player who left United and became good.
He was a United player.
Yeah,
Yeah,
then what? Hmm.
Matteo Damian was at United.
Darmian and Mkhitaryan, they were in the same window.
Mkhitaryan,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. He's quite old also, I think.
Uh, very good defender, man. I love him. I
Oh,
love him.
Jan Bissek.
Jan
Who?
Bissek is very
Jan
good.
Bissek is top.
Who is
Very,
this?
very good.
Jan Bissek, bro. He wears number 91, if I'm not wrong, for
For
them.
which
Hmm.
club?
Inter Milan.
Inter.
Oh, I didn't. I
He's
You
didn't
like,
know.
Why else
if
would you
you,
make?
There's like
No, I
there's
mean,
two centre
I don't
backs.
know the other context.
They came up at the same time. I mean, at obviously different clubs, but one was Bisek and the other guy was Armel Belakochap. He was at Southampton two
Mm-hmm.
seasons back or
Yeah, he
something.
was very
Again,
highly
a
rated.
very good defender, and both of them are German.
Yeah,
if you want to think of Bissek, think of him as a extreme ball carrier, someone you would see as a centre back, being in the attacking box,
Yeah,
making those runs, and playing in the proper Inzaghi role as to what Inzaghi would want from a defender.
100%. Yeah,
Exactly what
100%.
Jan Bissek does, and he's really good.
Inter Milan have lost the cup and losing the league to Napoli. Bro, what happened yesterday in Syria was insane.
McTominay is just cooking, bro.
Yeah, my tomato sauce brace. He scored a
Sauce,
brace. He scored a
Scotchy
brace.
mud sauce.
Proper proper scruffy finishes also. Just
Mhm.
simply shot and just went in.
That is peak Scott McTominay.
Yeah,
Just imagine they make a mural for McTominay after
actually,
Maradona.
like actually, he was in the academy a striker. Like when he was in United
Yeah,
Academy, he was a striker, and then
yeah, yeah.
suddenly when he came in the first team, he became a midfielder, and then I don't know why. And then yeah, he's all. I think he's like the kind of midfielder who just darts into the box last minute. Like he,
Yeah,
you know.
He comes in the same profile as Oyan Sanchez for me.
Yeah, I heard that we have been linked with him, but I don't know how true that is. Yeah,
Very
Uh,
box scratcher-esque values.
he's
He's
also
like UCL, they will fight for league,
exactly.
fight for,
ha
they'll
ha
fight,
ha. Hundred
they'll
percent,
fight
hundred
for league
percent.
form goes out of window.
Yeah,
Obviously,
that is true.
any knockout game, league form, any form goes out of window. Because even
This is the same for Arsenal PSG match also. Like
Mhm.
a lot of fans are crying because just because we're due to Crystal Palace, we are scared for PSG, you know.
I
But
mean,
Hmm.
PSG ended up losing to Nice 3-1 with a full squad as well, full
Huh,
depth
huh.
squad
Yeah.
as well.
And they drew to Nantes before that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I feel both the results doesn't really mean a lot. Like
exactly.
okay, Invincible is like okay, great, but it's not something which PSG I don't think will lose their head over. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Arul Simon says, I would choose Jokeris because Sesko is too similar to Havertz.
Ooh, I mean maybe just tall striker, but I don't know profile is similar or
How
not.
is Sesko similar to Havertz?
To
No,
be
no,
fair,
no.
I've not heard this kind of comparison. Arul, if you could us explain your point of view, maybe it'll help us understand what. Because what do you mean? Like, I get in terms of tall, I get in terms of linking up or winning the ball.
Man. Havertz's profile is unique. You have to be a very peculiar kind of footballer to be similar to Havertz. बिल्कुल.
Also, let me add some nice boost. This Hand of Ozil says that Arsenal are preparing for one of the biggest nights in recent history. From a financial aspect, it's also aspect. It against Madrid had agents scrambling to contact Mr. Porter. The footballing world watched as he became of age. Bring the noise. Okay, I know we won against Madrid. I know people have said that this is like because of set pieces and all of that. But I personally think, and I think we had a conversation off camera as well, the fact that we did such a number against such a star-studded side is almost like an audition that we are the team to be at. For
Yeah,
players to
Hmm.
do the next
100%.
That's what
no.
I said. That's what I said. Like we beat the bigger name, which is like
Hmm,
amazing,
exactly, exactly. Because we
and
We
could
that's
do
what we
this.
need to
even
do going forward.
Hmm,
Don't
see
care about the name. Yeah.
PSG historically, by historically, I mean over the last 4 5 years, has been a very good team. I mean,
Hmm.
has been a big name. But when we
Hmm.
beat PSG, even us as fans were like, okay, we beat PSG without breaking a sweat. But when it comes to Real Madrid is the pinnacle of world football, man. They are the biggest club in the world. To
Yeah.
beat them when nobody expects you to beat them, plus you beat them 500 creates an impression on a lot of people.
I was reading some reports that Saka was close to agreeing long term contract.
He's agreed a contract.
Yeah, he agreed upon, not close. I think he agreed upon that.
That's crazy, bro. Finally, we can keep our star boy.
People are saying Inter Milan is finished and Barca will smash Inter. You know, they
That's
have
what I
some more
said.
games to try to
Yeah,
face.
that is exactly what Salman said.
That's
Yeah,
it.
Marcus Thuram and Dumfries is back. Oh, no, I
I'm
believe
pretty sure
Thuram.
Thuram is not. I'm pretty sure Thuram is not.
Exactly.
Was Thuram 100% ruled out, or is it like 50-50 case? Yeah.
I read
Uh,
that he's 100% rolled out.
when I saw the news today, Thuram was out. I don't know about Dumfries, but Thuram was out. And
France superstar doubt to be
if
fit.
Dumfries is back, then it's a massive boost for them.
Hmm.
Dumfries, let me check.
Ainsley says
Oh
people
yeah,
saying,
he
what,
he
go on, go
played
on, go
he
on.
played against Inter Milan. Dumfries, Roma. Sorry, he played against Roma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then he's back.
Ainsley
It's finished.
saying Inter Milan is finished. Are Real Madrid fans who want to downplay them?
Downplay this match.
Uh,
I mean, there's even if somebody tries to downplay the season Barca is having, it is actually not possible.
hmm.
You've won whatever that trophy
Super
is that
Copa
you
and
play
Copa
in
del Rey.
Saudi Arabia or wherever you play it. I don't know what that
Super
is.
Copa.
Then you get the
Mhm.
Copa del Rey, then you win the league and the possibility of winning the UCL. I mean,
Hmm.
come on. Not every
Actually,
team in the world has become bad suddenly. So yeah.
Yeah, it's the same
uh,
logic of the Liverpool league title thingy, which people are saying. But to be honest, I think Liverpool fans are overplaying it so much. I didn't even hear that much people saying it's a worst league or something.
It's,
Like,
it's just it's just the online fans. Yeah, it's
yeah,
nothing.
that's what.
Gary says that Thuram is back in training and traveling to Barca. Oh, okay,
That is
okay.
true, man.
Hmm.
Dumfries is back, so that's big for Inter.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sanchez says, do you reckon the atmosphere would be better against PSG than Madrid? Okay, it may be the same or even better, but PSG fans are loud, like so damn loud with their drums, with their oh my
No,
god,
but
definitely.
apparently Arsenal is doing a proper big banner this time. Like
Yeah.
proper from the stands, it's gonna drop.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Arsenal
that's
fans
why I think
are
it was banned, the AA Tifo. Like I feel the club already wanted to do a Tifo, and then even these guys wanted to do, which will not even be visible. So then why
hmm,
to like, yeah, why to do it?
The way
Arsenal
I would
banned Ashburn Army Tifo, although that only Tifo was disappointed and I'm not confident with it. If you guys saw that artwork, I'm glad it was not accepted because what the hell was that artwork?
it was
It was
pathetic, man. It was pathetic.
it was something that I would generate in ChatGPT. I've shown how to generate section on
No, and
ChatGPT.
moreover, it's such a copied concept.
Yeah,
Galatasaray does
yeah,
it
yeah.
almost every season. That Tifo.
Casa de Mikel Uno.
That
Now, but the
I,
way I would
if you
describe
had to, if you
the
had to like use a foreign language, why won't you use a French Tifo? Like write something in French. Like you're using Spanish Tifo for a French team. Like it doesn't make sense.
man.
Yeah.
And when it comes to explaining the atmosphere that we had against Real and the one that we will have against PSG, I would say the atmosphere when we faced Real was one of us knowing that we are finally facing a very big team and we are finally here. Now with the PSG game, the expectation would be to win the
Yeah.
match, and that
Yeah.
is why it would be even crazier because nobody expected us to go and decimate Madrid the way we did. And now that the expectations have risen, and now that we know that we are just 3 games away from clinching our first ever Champions League title, the atmosphere will be crazier this time.
Plus, I feel against Real Madrid, even though there was we as fans were talking like we can beat them, there was still apprehension like how will this team
100%.
perform
Yeah,
against Real Madrid. But
yeah,
against PSG, I don't think that's there. Irrespective of if the tie was reversed, I think we would still have uh,
I
more
agree.
confidence facing PSG.
I
So
agree. I
the
agree.
atmosphere should be like more better. Hopefully, because against like again I know it's like dead league is dead against Palace. The atmosphere was so dead. So I hope it's
So
better.
the fans were just turning up for the sake of turning up.
They were not even. There were so many empty seats also by the end of the match.
Huh,
Yeah. So
it's fine. It's fine. It's
I know it's fine, but I hope they turn up for the match properly. Yeah.
Uh, we definitely need the stadium enlargement for this. Oh yeah,
It's being talked about.
it's been spoken about if I'm not wrong.
fine.
Yeah. I think around 10,000 or some 15,000 we can increase our capacity.
That
Yeah.
makes it to like close to what, 82,000 in total.
I think right now it's 60,000 our capacity. Yeah.
Is it 60 or 62,000 or 67,000?
Some 60, some I think it's less than 65. It's 60,000, I think.
Something at least like minimum 75. If I'm not wrong. 75 is insane, Jambu. Suddenly having extra 50,000 fans for the UCL night is insane.
Because I think when Arsenal created the at stadium, they created it in such a way that there's scope for future expansion.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Fair.
So
Arsene Wenger has done it again.
yeah.
But yeah, we've streamed for like 2 hours and close to 2.5 hours. Uh, Before we wrap up the stream and bring it to its natural end, I'll give about like 1 minute to the chat to like put out their last
Can we
comments.
just make the predictions that they were
That's what
asking
like
us to make?
so let the comments come in. By the time we'll have our like final thoughts regarding. That's what I was thinking. Okay.
Yes.
Guys, the 6 concurrent views or the 7 concurrent views that are fluctuating, do bring in your final comments. We'll definitely take it in once we're done giving our final thoughts and giving our predictions and our final thoughts. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Whose prediction should we start with? We'll start with Aarush, the youngest of all. Come on.
Uh, Fair enough. I'd say a 2-1 to Arsenal.
Good. Nice one. We'll start with our latest our latest comment. Sallu, what's your prediction?
Um, I think two each. Yeah.
Ooh, draw. Damn.
I think PSG attack is pretty good.
Okay, fair enough. Parth?
I don't want to be doing this. Please, spare me.
Nope.
Nah,
We
nah.
had Aarush
You
and
brought
Sallu.
it up. Now you have to say it.
Yeah, you brought it up.
3-1 Arsenal.
3-1 Arsenal. Okay. Do you guys want to have a forfeit for this one? Like in case over 2 legs, if some of our prediction doesn't happen, you guys want to do forfeit? Or should we do this strictly for next season?
I'm down.
Next season.
Forfeit as in? Forfeit as in?
Like whose prediction is wrong needs to do something. Yeah. Yeah.
What's
You
the
guys wanna-
reward? you're
Let's
going
do
to
it.
give
No,
back?
let's not do it for one leg. Let's do it for the tie. Like
That's what for the time. I was thinking that. Okay, you know what? Give you predictions for this leg, and in the next stream that we do before the PSG was Arsenal stream, that time we'll decide what are the forfeits in case the aggregate doesn't
Take it.
follow. Okay. But
Okay.
still, you got to give your prediction. Yours is 2-1. Aarush is yours 2-2. Aarush is 2-1. Parth you.
3-1.
And what about you?
After Parth I'll give na. Chill, bro.
I gave now.
3-1 is
No. You might even escape. I know you.
No. I'm just okay. Parth, what 3-1?
Yeah.
Arsenal. Arey.
Obviously 3-1 to Arsenal. I wouldn't expect you to say 3-1 to PSG, but okay. I would say my prediction is 2-1 as well. Because why I say 2-1 is because Arsenal have not conceded. No, actually, no, my prediction 2-0. My prediction 2-0. Arsenal haven't conceded more than 2 goals ever since Luton, right? So my hope is that if we have a 2-0 lead, I don't think we'll concede three goals and lose the tie. So
Okay.
that's
So
why
my bold prediction is that we might. My bold prediction is that PSG might even not score over two legs, or 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 they'll be kept below 2 goals over 2 legs.
we'll come to that in the
I
second.
can see that coming. I can
In the
see that
sec
coming.
in the second leg prediction will come there. We'll come there. We'll definitely come there.
Uh-huh.
But 2-0. Uh,
2-1, 2-1, 2-2.
Forget all this camera. 2-1,
Uh-huh.
2-1, yeah, 2-1.
My
This
God.
guy doing bad. This guy.
The three.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm still figuring out this stupid camera, but okay. Those are our final predictions.
Not
Any
your
final
camera,
thoughts? Any
it's
final
your internet.
thoughts? Try to tap out. Final thoughts, guys. This time we'll start with Salu. Final thoughts before we play.
Uh, yeah, I guess, I guess, I guess
I thought
we
bro
will.
was falling.
Well, yeah, I'm dizzied by PSG's attack. That's why I fell. Yeah, but yeah, I feel PSG's attack will be something different. So
Hmm.
I think hopefully our defense holds up, and if our defense holds up, we'll win for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, uh, you know what? Out of fairness, I will ask you. I will ask us even the Inter versus Barca predictions. This time we start Inter versus Barca predictions.
Barca
And
versus Inter. First leg is at
2-1.
Camp Nou.
2-1 Barca. 3-1 3-1 Barca. 3-1
3-1
Barca.
Barca. Salu.
One each.
One each. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be setting up very nicely at San Siro, but nice. 1-1. Aarush,
First
you?
game is at Camp Nou.
Camp
Barca.
Nou. Yeah.
Camp Nou.
I think a 1-0 Barca.
Ooh. Okay. Okay. This one I feel. I weirdly feel 2-1. No, no. Sorry, I weirdly feel 2-2. I weirdly feel 2-2.
Yeah, I think it's
Two-two.
either a draw or a minor
Barca.
victory to any team, to be
Hmm.
honest.
Yeah.
Uh, those are our predictions. Final thoughts, Salu. Okay.
I
Final
said
thoughts from.
already.
Final thoughts from you, Parth.
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay. Final thoughts, Aarush.
Nothing. I'm good, bro.
Damn. Okay, I guess I have to say it. Final thoughts, guys. Keep subscribing. We brought in a lot of content for you guys. We hope to keep doing this. For that, we need a little help from you guys. That is to push our channel onto the algorithm where other Arsenal fans could enjoy this as well. But to do that, we need as many likes as possible. The smallest thing you could do is to make sure that we hit the like target, that is 15 likes per stream, and to push our stream to do better, show us a little love, subscribing to our channel as well, and switch on the bell icon because you get to know whenever we are streaming. That will definitely help you know when we are streaming. You can bring in your views as well. One last thing I want to remind you guys is that tomorrow, whatever is the match result, I will be live for a live reaction, maybe a small 20 to 30-minute reaction. Will the other panelists join me depending on their mood, I guess? If we are winning, I
I'll
guess
probably
there's
be there.
uh
I'll probably be there.
depending on their availability as well, because it'll be morning 2:30 or 3 or whatever is their timing. So yeah, do join us, whatever is the thing.
If Odegaard
And
has a scrap game, we'll join for sure, and we'll shit on Odegaard on the
Oh
stream.
my god. But
Because extra views.
This guy, man.
extra views. I think it will be suitable for that masala side of Indian Twitter that people have been craving from Arsenal, but fair enough. But on Wednesday, definitely, if you guys want to voice your opinions and want to be live on stream and to make sure that you're heard, do let us know. Our socials are there in the
Yes,
description.
sir.
You can reach out to us. I will definitely tweet out before every stream saying that our stream is at so and so time. To do reach us out, you can comment under that as well. We'll put out different instructions for you guys to know. But whoever are there right now and not on Twitter, you can definitely reach out to us on Instagram as well, so that we can send you a link where you can join us live on stream and voice your opinions. So yeah, That's
Yes.
all I have to remind you regarding this team. Let me take in all the final shots and then we can wrap up. Yeah. So our present capacity is 62,053. Yeah. Okay, good.
So he was giving
Hypothetically,
some OTP for something. Yeah.
It's a good season for Arsenal
okay,
Good question.
we will
No.
have this discussion soon,
later.
but not today.
Yeah,
But not
we'll have it at the end of the season.
yes. When that season ends, that
Yeah,
depends
that
on
is
many.
on May 31. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm. When Arteta has a Champions League trophy, we'll discuss that. Yeah.
Okay. Arun Selvam says 3-1 to Arsenal. Good. What is your predictions for this thing? The Barca was entering. Do let us know as well.
Terrible.
Gary, 2-1 to Arsenal for the first leg. Fair enough. Perfect idea. Tweet what phase is
What
entering.
faith?
To
Tweet
all this.
this, put the comments off, make your account locked. That's it.
And
I
also,
can
you
do
know
it
what?
because I'm not on Twitter. Yeah.
You know what? To make it more interesting, right? To all the 5 to 6 current viewers out there right now, bringing all your forfeit ideas to the next team, which we will do on next
Yes,
Tuesday
yes.
before the PSG versus Arsenal second leg. We'll take in those ideas as well, and we'll come up with something, and definitely we'll do a forfeit. It could
Yes,
be as
sir.
simple as eating the chili or like shaving my head or something like that. We'll definitely do something.
What?
No, no,
I
no.
don't want to lose my airline, bro.
No
Bro,
physical.
I can't do that.
Only normals forfeits.
मेरे
Yeah.
जुल्फों को कुछ नहीं होना चाहिए. I won't allow it.
We'll definitely decide that. We'll definitely decide. Will there be a live watch along? Okay.
Post-match review.
So we will have
Post match.
post-match reaction review immediately, and definitely we'll have a stream on Wednesday where we have uh, where we are much more balanced in life, where we come up with proper thoughts. So on Wednesday, definitely we'll have all that. But a live watch along, I thought of it, but I don't have a room for myself where I can. I don't go on that. You know what? No live watch along as of now. Maybe if we go to the final, maybe a different thing, but definitely no live
Yeah.
watch along. But Barca was Inter
Winning
winning
3.
3-2.
Oh,
What?
Okay. I mean, to be
crazy.
fair,
Bold.
you
Bold.
never know. It's a very bold one. You never know. One red card
Face.
coming in Inter was Barca because of Barca.
Bro, see, Barca struggle against low blocks. And
Yeah.
this Inter Milan low block can be the nastiest one in Europe, bro. So I
Exactly.
can really see, even with key injuries, Inter Milan can still find goals. That is not a problem for them.
And Inter thrives on counters and
It's just the
thrives on
form that
exploiting.
they are in which makes me question it. Otherwise, I
Yeah.
would give Inter the whole run to win
That
this. But Barca have been really good as well.
that was my only reason for giving the prediction that I gave. It was just
Hmm.
Inter's bad form and Barca's good form. Simple.
Hmm.
Nothing else.
When you reach semi-finals, no one fails.
Yeah,
It,
fair,
it is
fair,
true.
fair, fair.
Unless you're like playing against PSG or something.
Unless you
That
have
will.
Bodo Glimt in the semi-final. Yeah.
Bodo Glimt.
Sanchez says, what does he say? Watch along in case we reach the final. Pray for Arsenal. You know what? I might not actually do that as well because right now
We might
we
not
are.
make videos post pre that also, bro. If we reach the finals, bro.
Why?
Just to soak it in, bro. I
And
mean, post at least the watch along.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah,
ha
because
ha
Sucheet
ha
will be
ha.
crying like a
100%.
baby. Yeah.
Face, face,
Bro,
face.
Obviously, we're not gonna.
actually, I might because I have nowhere to go. Because I have no Arsenal friends around me. I have only rival fans around me. So I might as well hop on and celebrate with all
When is the
country views.
Champions League
Yeah.
final?
And I am
FIFA
telling you
style.
this. I am
Mm.
I'm telling you, if we win the Champions League, okay, my first reaction would be leading up to the final. I would be all jittery that I'll get back to these people, I'll cook them or whatever. But once we win the final, I would be like, we won it. My initial thought would be I want to hammer them, this, that, nothing.
Life will be empty, I feel. Because like
Bro,
such a,
final is literally on 1st of June.
hmm,
Huh?
And that's my first working day for internship, bro. How do I celebrate this?
Ay, ay.
I feel if we win the Champions League, it will be like, for so long, it's been something that every year we talk about.
Yeah,
Like we never won, we never won, it never won, and then
just hope it.
suddenly, I think it will be like, what do we do now? Now
100%. Yeah,
suddenly,
yeah, yeah. Yep.
it will be like that.
But
We've
let's
achieved
not get
everything we
ahead.
needed.
Yeah, because that's the
Let's
only
not
trophy
get
we don't have. Yeah.
let's not get ahead of ourselves. One game at a time.
One game at a time into three. That's all.
Okay. I
Yeah.
trust in Hansi, but I trust in Hansi, but I
Face,
forget to
face, face,
do.
face.
Uh,
These
Sun,
guys, these
So
guys
Hansi
harassed
Bhai is
me into
Hansi
giving a
Flick.
prediction, man.
huh?
This, these guys harassed me into giving a
You
prediction. I
have to,
won't
bro,
have.
if you're on stream.
What is this idea?
Or,
What?
Car knocking out Blackburn. Wow.
Uh, my God.
forfeit idea. Aarush doesn't go for internship all the time. Oh my god.
I can't. I can't. I can't.
Oh. Ah,
Damn, but what a
anyways,
forfeit idea.
that has been a good stream. We def bros in McD celebrated.
Like, he's in Starbucks.
Starbucks.
Star McD is small for
The status
Sardar
symbol is a
Bucks.
high
big one.
level people. Like McD is, yeah.
But yeah,
Did you crack the name,
I,
Emma?
I'll just say one thing. Every time we think of doing a stream
Oh wait,
that last.
I think he said me and MacD because next to the office where I am, it's
Acha,
there's a MacD right next to it.
he said,
Oh yeah.
yeah, but
Fair,
what?
I'll
fair.
just say one thing, okay? We think of having streams that are 1.5 hour long, but when we start streaming, it always goes upwards of 2 hours. Always.
Uh,
I think it's because we got good engagement, which is
Yeah,
important.
100%.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
It's not like we're just sitting and yapping and no one's commenting or anything. Yeah.
mm-hmm. Day one.
What is this guy doing?
Aarush
He's
said,
writing it,
what,
bro.
what did you say?
He's
2
gonna
1.
put it.
Acha, he's writing the predictions on stream, man. This guy. Arey baap.
Before I forget, because I don't want to like go back on YouTube, go to the very end, and again see what our prediction on might as well. But anyways, our stream has come to its natural end. 2 hours 37 minutes. Great. He's saying 9 likes. It's fine. We will probably hit 15 by the end of the
Yeah.
day or something. We put in a poll. Will Arsenal win at the Emirates? We got 13 votes. That's nice. That says 85% Arsenal will win. 15% says no. Let's hope 15% isn't correct. But yeah, uh, before I wrap up, any final words? Again, nothing.
अरे कितने final words भाई
Cool. Arsenal face PSG at the Emirates, hoping that the Emirates rock up in exactly 25 hours and 22 minutes. Let's hope Arsenal will win. Come on, you Gunners. Till then, good morning, good evening, good night, wherever. Bye bye.